didn't we talk about that last week?
Not really, but are they making a Mystique?
Well, they got some new
is what I'm coming up
going on.
Yeah. All right. Let me start this up here. Let me get this started. Okay, everyone. Well, let me get a few seconds here because it always takes a little bit for it to actually pick up.
You're going to introduce the guests and all that stuff first.
No, I'm going to do that. Why would I do that? Of course I am, man. Right, normal stuff. I just want to make sure it's picking up on Twitch first. Okay, it looks like we're live. Gamertron show now hosting. Thanks for that host, Mr. Gamertron.
I'm right here. You know I host every.
I should be hosting.
Hey, I'm thanking you anyways. This Fox only Janser. Hey, Volt, how's it going, man? We're starting up here in a second. This is the shit show that happens before the show. So
Jesus fuck.
Oh, man. So this is the part of the show where you cut everything like you did last time.
You can go and you can make your own, little whatever you want and put them on your channel. You are more than welcome to.
But
sir.
I can't like download the stream off.
You can
Twitch.
screen cap it. Don't give me excuses. You know how to do production.
Yeah, but that lowers the quality.
No, bullshit. There's no quality.
He can extract
to begin with.
You can extract it in
it's true.
And chop it up.
Yeah, you can take any VOD and go and extract it in an external site. It's absolutely true. I think even Nightbud offers that. Okay. Episode 8 of the B3 GameCast starting now. This is Janser, as always, and we have got Mr. Count Chocula.
Hi, how you doing?
Wow. Stealing lines. And we got Gamertron.
Son of a bitch. You took my line.
Wow, I love how you're starting off fresh and salty. And we have our special...
Now, I apologize. Gamertron show. Hey, hi, how you doing? Love you all.
Thank you, sir.
Love from Canada. Peace.
Wouldn't be the cast if you were not giving us that line. And our special guest caster for today, a DogMan Dan.
What's going on?
All right.
Oh,
wonderful.
just as FYI, I'm also live streaming on YouTube with this.
Cool. That's great, man.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's a first.
I'm gonna put a copyright claim on you.
Okay, I'll be on it.
Bring it on.
Hey, I'll go on Hitbox if you want.
Bring it on.
Do whatever.
I'll take my 15,000 subscribers and I'll go after you.
Oh, hey, whoa, all right. Starting off strong.
Shit.
I like the salt. This is good. This is gonna be a good episode. And
this is the Warcast. It's Civil War.
Warcast.
What side are you on? Team Janser.
Oh, I'm on Team Tony Stark.
Oh, fuck him.
Speaking of comics, let's roll in with Mr. Counts. What do you got? What do you got for content? What were you playing this week? What were you watching? What's coming up with comic book movies?
Well, I don't really have any comic book movie stuff this week, except negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rose McGowan is a cunt, but I don't want to get into all that.
What? Rose McGowan? I thought they killed her career. He's coming back.
I'm not going to start with Rose McGowan.
He's like a hardcore SJW or feminist now.
Yeah,
feminazi, in fact.
Did you see the controversy she's starting with the X-Men Apocalypse poster? Because the poster, I guess they posted, they have this poster in New York, and it shows Apocalypse grabbing Mystique's neck. And she's claiming that it's violence against women.
Well,
you know what I mean? So she's starting a big campaign.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's pretty super feminine Nazi. She is. I heard
she was in fucking Grindhouse.
I know.
Right? She's shooting motherfuckers with a prosthetic leg.
Hey, she's not taking the money from that anymore.
Oh my god!
So
questions.
It's okay. Yes, sir. Please.
Who is Rose McGowan?
Oh, get out of here! She was super hot, and then she turned all super crazy.
She was in the Scream movies.
I'll get you a picture.
Yeah, put a picture of that cunt up here.
Jesus, man.
I just want to say that
keep it PG.
I just want to let you know that you guys are so popular that I've already got a dislike on the video.
I love it. That's you, Dan. I gotta say, Dan, that is all your popularity right there, man. It's all your popularity.
That's my troll. That's my subscribed troll. Always hits the dislike button the second something posts.
That person, it's a guy. I can guarantee it's a guy. That guy loves you that much that he just waits for you. He's just sitting there waiting for you. Isn't that cute? Cute little baby. Cute little baby that he is.
It's jealousy.
Yeah.
I gotta put up an image. I think I gotta get a nice fine image to put on here.
Anyway, I didn't mean to bring that. I mean, it kind of bothers me because she's been in a lot of violent movies.
Yeah.
And then did she start a campaign for?
Look, she made her money all right. Okay.
Well, did she start?
Do whatever she wants.
She wants to start a campaign against violence against women in movies. But did she realize that Jean Grey fucking kicks Apocalypse's ass in the movie? So are we going to start a campaign, save Apocalypse from women's violence? You know, because Jean Grey just fucking blasts the shit out of it. There's that dumb
Gamertron. This was back
now.
in her charm days.
Now that looks good. I mean, she looks good there, but she's not anything like that now. Oh,
I see a nose.
Everyone
see lips.
take a minute to foul. I mean,
wait. She played the best friend in the first Scream.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I said. The Scream movie. Yeah.
Yeah, she played the best friend that got murdered by she was killed by the garage door.
Yeah.
I remember she was killed by the garage door.
Exactly. The garage door came down on her.
As time goes on, you tend to take up these little battles and stuff when you can't get roles or whatever.
That's true. You got to get your name out there, publicity somehow. Yeah, I guess garage doors are misogynistic.
Someone get her in a movie. get her paid, and then she'll stop. And that's how it is. They gotta. That's how it is with actors. They got to drum up all that stuff, all that drama. Otherwise, no one cares.
Wait, are we talking about actors or YouTubers?
Same thing. Entertainers in general. Entertainers. So, what else you got, Count? Anything else?
Well, I mean, that's not what I meant to start with. I wanted to talk about the new. I just had to get that off my chest. It just kind of stuff like that just bothers me the older I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 years ago, I'd have just laughed, but now it just fucking boils. It just gets my blood pressure going.
Oh,
it's
so
probably
you're having like a reverse age effect. Usually when you get older, you don't care about this shit, and when you're younger, you care about this shit.
It's like Benjamin Button, man. It's like the fucking curious case of, I don't know. Anyway, I played a closed beta for Riders of Icarus.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's that game you told us about. How is it?
It's a couple, well, Gamertron, let me tell you. It's a couple of episodes ago, I think I brought it up. It was a game I was kind of following. It's by Nexon, and they're also going to be doing Lawbreakers.
Yes.
And yeah, I think we talked about Lawbreakers a little bit.
Yeah, I might have Riders of Icarus here still. Let me see if I can find something for it.
The cool thing, I did find out that this game is totally free to play.
Oh,
all right. Yes. Now it comes out July 7th. The closed beta ends June 7th. I just signed up on it for a whim, and they sent me a beta code the other day. So, the problem is the coolest aspect of the game is going to be pay. It's going to be there is a paywall behind the coolest acts.
What's the coolest? What's the coolest?
The big dragon mount that I was wanting, that I saw the big blue frost dragon looking.
That sucks.
You have to buy the legendary pack, which is $90 to get that mount.
But count. I watched you play some of it, and you did have a really cool tiny pony that was following you around.
I swear, Chancer, if you were right here, I'd strangle the fuck out of you.
He sent it in to fight. First, it wouldn't fight at all. And then when it went to go fight a fox, it died. It almost had it.
It got killed by I sicked my pet on a fox, and the fox kicked my horse's. That's a baby pony, man.
It was a baby pony. It wasn't even a little horse. It was just a tiny horse. It was a tiny. Not even up to his knee or whatever. Yeah. I don't know what their idea is behind that.
The cool aspect of the game, though, and the one that I think that they're kind of riding their hopes on is the taming aspect of the game. I guess every region has an amount of like collections that you can of different like creatures that you have to tame to get achievements and stuff. And you can end up taming a flying mount, like a dragon or something. And the cool thing is you can also, if you don't want to just use it as a mount, you can use a special little stone on the on it after you tame it, and it can become your pet that will fight alongside you during the game. So I think they're kind of relying their hopes on that aspect of the game kind of being that kind of sets it apart from the other MMOs. Other than that, though, it doesn't really have much. Not much different than all the other MMOs out there. I think it's better than Black Desert, though, definitely.
Yeah.
The gameplay's a little smoother. It also has an action mode or a standard mode, which I've never seen in an MMO. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not an MMO expert.
Yeah,
but
no, I've never seen that either.
Yeah, you can switch from actually like a standard mode if you're playing like a caster. You can do more of a point and click like tab targeting, or you can do like real-time combat. You can have an action mode for more of a melee character or a tank character. So yeah, it was kind of interesting.
I gotta ask you, Count. So this action mode, basically when you click the mouse button, it swings your sword. There's no like auto attacks?
Right. Oh, no, there is an auto attack option. You don't have to use it.
Oh!
Right.
They give you the option between real time and auto?
The left click will start an auto attack where you've got a little crosshair on the screen. It's a third person, third person visual, but and then you have combos, and then your combos trigger like innate combo, and then you have to hit like the C button or something while at the right time. Well, it gives you a little indicator when to hit that. So it's got some. It's not just like having a hot bar where you're casting and having cooldowns. It's got some real-time combat as well. So
absolutely no. Cannot play it. You have to think. No way. Can't play it.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice too.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's not the
well for an MMO.
It's a game that you have to think and think. No, just can't do that.
Oh man. And the taming, I watched the taming of the animals. It's kind of funny. You have little prompts that you have to complete and stuff like that. So it's not just throw a scroll at something and they're your pet. It's kind of like a little mini game.
You go into taming mode. You can assign whatever. You go into taming mode, and then you can put that on your hotbar, and it makes your character crouch down like you're sneaking up behind, and then it prompts you to hit the space bar, but you have to time it right, or you like fall on your ass because the animal sees you or moves. So and then you get on the back, and you basically ride it like a horse and try to break its spirit. And it's got 4 different like little modes.
What is the name of this game?
It's called Riders of Icarus.
Yeah, I've got a image for people watching on the Twitch up there. But
so far on the forums, the feedback's pretty good. I mean, it's got a few issues like you target some of the environment instead of one of the creatures I was trying to kill got like stuck in the middle of 2 things you can target of the environment, and I couldn't get my target on it. I couldn't tab over, and that was, there's a few little hitches like that, but so far it's pretty cool game, and especially free to play. Now they do have a premium service, and that's kind of the controversy. Where is it pay to win? The whole thing of pay to win come up, but to get the Karios Frost Dragon mount, you have to buy the fucking legendary pack, which is $89.99, and that kind of pisses me off.
I'm all over
this. Are there other dragons that you can get?
Yes, there are other dragons in the game.
I'm satisfied.
But they aren't the exclusive. They have 2 exclusive dragons.
It's not that's not a dragon like, okay, all right, got it.
They give you a preview early in the game of like there's a dragon called Pyro. There's a little like solo instance that you go into at the beginning of the game. Not the very beginning, but maybe you're like an hour into the game. And you actually get on the back of Pyro the dragon and you ride, and it kind of is like a little tutorial of the flight. So I know there's dragons.
Spyro.
Yeah, that's they're making a play on that. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have to help him like find his little baby dragon, is lost and stuff. So
oh man, dragons. You guys know I'm a sucker for dragons.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot about dragons in this game. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, it's free. Like I said, it's a free.
I'm all over it because you have to think and you have to pay money. I mean, that's just,
You don't have to pay money.
You have to think about how much
you
money
have
you're
to
gonna
pay money if you want the best item. I'm sorry, but that's the only way to play a game.
Exclusives.
Gotta have the exclusives.
If you don't have the exclusives,
$90. I will buy the. There's 3 founder packs. They said that they're going free to play There's 3 founder packs. There's $24.99, $42.99, and $89.99.
I
So
gotta
each-
ask.
You
I gotta
gotta
ask
go all
GT.
out. That's just the
Yeah.
way it is. Because if you don't go all out in a few years, when you're playing in front of people and you have the best stuff, then they start getting mad at you because you got something
you
they
need
don't
that.
have.
It's true. It's true. You gotta rub it in their face. GT, have you ever played an MMO? That's what I was trying to get at.
I have played MMOs before. I have played MMO-like games. Of course, you guys know I played Warframe, The Division. So I had played MMO-like games. When a long time ago, I used to play an MMO. I forget the name of the bloody game. But it was
Okay,
a
you never
Japanese-
played an MMO then.
What do you mean I've never played an MMO?
Like,
I just said
if you played an MMO, you play okay. So you
Division
probably
and
dabbled
Warframe
in it.
aren't really MMOs.
Yeah, they're MMO-likes.
MMO-like, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying recently, those are the games I've played that are MMO.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if you really seriously played an MMO, you would not forget the goddamn name of it. Those things will hook you. They're like heroin, man. It's just
You get the
I
right
actually
one.
got bored of I actually
Good
the
for
reason
you.
I don't play more MMOs is because like the grind gets
Yeah.
to a point where I want this cool stuff. Oh, but you got to pay money. But this was when I was younger. Like I was 10 years old and I didn't have any money. I was like, but I don't have any money. Too bad. You can't get this cool stuff. Oh, I want to fight that cool boss. Too bad. You're too low level. How do I level up? You got to get better stuff. But the better stuff's behind a paywall. Too bad.
Well, this game you can play. I mean, you can get all the best stuff. You don't have to pay for it. A lot of this is cosmetic, and a lot of the Founders Pack stuff is just giving you like experience boosts, so you can get there faster. Now we all know what game does. A lot of games do that. Warframe does that.
Pay to
Gets
win.
you there faster. But I wouldn't really call it pay to win. People are a little too eager to jump on that pay to win stuff. I mean, it's pay to look cooler than your fellow player, but other than that,
No,
I don't think
absolutely
it's
not.
actually pay to win.
You give me something exclusive, it's pay to win.
That's true. If you don't get that one dragon, even though you can get other dragons, no, you're fucked. Not good
I don't
enough.
think you
Get
can
good,
make
bro.
those dragons fight for you, though. I don't
Don't
think
be-
you can turn those
You're gonna
dragons
be a
into
pleb.
pets.
That's all I know. You're
Yeah.
a pleb if you don't have
Yeah.
that dragon.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter
That's the one.
because, and in the end, when you hit end game, it is all about fashion. If
I'm
you
not gonna lie,
don't have
I
the
agree.
best fashion in
You're
A
being
lot
almost
of it is.
sarcastic,
any game,
but I agree.
it is fashion in every freaking game you play.
I'll
It
tell
is
you
all
why.
about the fashion.
And
Not
you know
lying.
why? You know why though? Because there's nothing else to fucking do. That's
Well,
why.
they make more money off of those kind of cosmetic stuff than anything. I know
Well-
Marvel Heroes makes a shit ton off the costumes, all the different
and
costumes.
the thing is, Overwatch is already in that. Oh wow!
Yeah.
They already hit in. Boom! Just already done. Or buy your boxes. You need your skin because there's
Yep.
nothing else to the game.
Every
Fucking A.
game-
Shots fired.
Every
Yes.
game starts with an end game of fashion. I mean, every game. You're looking at it right now when you're talking about buying into the beta or buying into the Founders Pack. There's exclusive items in there that are all fashion, and that's
Yeah, no,
buying
but
into
there's more
end game
content
early.
to play.
Yeah, but you know what I'm
There's
saying.
more.
You're buying
there
something
seems like
exclusive.
a shit ton of content in this game, though.
Yeah.
Like the world is huge, and some of the I saw in the forums where I guess some of the open world bosses are fucking epic. I guess.
Mm. Yeah.
So-
When I used to spend money on Firefall before that pretty much died.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much it was all about the fashion with that. I mean, you had
Yeah.
everything you could potentially do to make yourself look different than everybody else.
See, if
Gotcha.
the game's free to play from the jump, though, I don't have a problem with that. People want to spend their money on the little knickknacks. That's fine. I do it. No,
Yeah.
I'm guilty in Marvel Heroes, but guess what? I don't have to pay a dime in that game, so I'm good with
Right.
that. you
I
know?
did it in DCU for so many years, so many different items that people never have. I go back just
DC
to look at the
Universe?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, y'all can talk.
Uh-oh.
I go back just
Yeah.
to look at the stuff that I have.
Like what stuff are you talking about in DC Universe?
Good God, anything. that's-
Batman helmet and all that stuff.
Counts played it quite extensively.
I used to do a podcast for that game. Yeah, it's
I bought quite extensively.
yeah. I wish I had the money back I put in that game. I put thousands of dollars in that game.
I don't wish I had the money back. I mean, I enjoyed every moment that I played it. And on occasion, I'll load it up, and it's not like what it was at one point, though. It's nowhere.
Do you play on PC?
Yeah, Master
Yeah,
Race.
you know
only.
that's cross-platform with PS4 now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
PC's still Master Race.
Oh, I
no,
love you, Dan. I love you, Dan.
I 100%. I always played on PS4. I had actually both because to get the test server, you had to have. This is where they get you. Okay, they. If you're like doing YouTube videos, you have to have the test center to get the early videos on the content. So I had to pay not only the $12.99 subscription on the PS4, I had to pay the $14.99 subscription just for the test server on the PC. And then then you have PlayStation Plus. It's just
I mean, it's just like oh god, it's like playing Rocket League. So Rocket League is PC and PS4. Everybody plays it on PC because they can beat the crap out of PS4 players because it's just so much better on the PC. And now they just introduced Xbox One with PC, and they just went in there and just blew away Xbox One players who thought they were great, and now they met the master race.
Oh man.
Well, here's the thing about DC Universe on Xbox One. It's been out 3 weeks. People have already beaten the hardest content in the game the first week and a half. It only takes a week and a half. And I had a big argument on Twitter this week with one of my old podcast buddies who really hates me now because I used to be, I used to champion that game, and now I bash it at every turn that I get. But I'm like, how can you still play a game that you can beat the hardest content in the game, Darkseid's War Factory, we're talking about 4.5, almost 5 years of content in fucking a week and a half. How cheap is your game now? Because when we started playing DC Universe Online, it took months to get the highest tier gear.
I played from the beta from before year one. I mean, I still have the year one stuff that they gave you, the cape and stuff.
Right.
But
the year one cape. Yeah, I have that.
I'm gonna label this section DCU Assault. Please continue.
Here's my theory, though. When we're talking about in general gaming, PC versus console. Console, for some reason, and it seems to be in every game, they wait for a new game or they wait for a big content update, and then they just go blast through it in a couple of hours.
Oh, they're
and then
crazy.
They're done, and they're bitching about there not being enough content.
Can you say Destiny?
That happens
really,
on both platforms.
It's
PC does the same thing.
It's any game. But you know what? It's more prevalent on consoles. I
think they don't have that.
I agree 100%.
They don't really have what we have. We have a lot of games like that to blast through. They get Destiny.
Well,
they got
I think there's a lack of community.
Well, that true. We've talked about that before. Yeah.
The community on the consoles, if you have a game that has like an open world community with a lot of voice chat channels and everything, I've noticed, and this is probably obvious, I'm being Mr. Obvious here, the communities are so fucking toxic, man. It's crazy. I mean, it's like it's like people just log in and make other people's life miserable, it seems. I mean, it's crazy.
Are we talking about the Division now?
I've never played the Division, but Division might go into that. But we're just talking about the difference between the community of the PC games and the console games. I'm
just making a reference to the Dark Zone. Never mind.
Well, no, it's just something that I've noticed in all the games that I've played. It's just like the minute it hits console, it's new content. Boom, they just blast through it. Like I've got to hit every achievement that came out in the game, and I got to hit it first. And now I did it, and now I've got nothing to do except for complain about the fact that it only took me 2 hours to get through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I see that
the truth
in
is,
a lot of
did
games
you
that
actually
are persistent
enjoy
content.
what you just played, or did you just do it just to make all those achievements before everybody else?
Oh, Dan, I'd give you a hug right now. Thank you.
That to me is just that's a thing of that comes back from MMOs. I mean, anything that puts out content, that's how we used to eat it up back in the day as well. I just say that's just part of gaming community and gaming culture and gamer life. I mean, I have definitely progressed and changed, but I've known, like, I have a friend that I still play with, and hold on a second, in Warframe, that he is absolutely the worst team player. He is the worst. Just the other day, Volts, one of the guys I play with as well, was playing with me, and my buddy was just blasting past as an Ash, of course, because you got to be a piece of shit Ash. And Volts dies, and I go back, and Volts is like, "Oh, leave me." I try as much as I can to be as much of a team player as possible.
Right.
So I bust my ass to go pick him up.
Right.
And then that my buddy's at the door, just boop, boop, boop. This is the same buddy that I'm talking about, that he made another buddy of mine quit because that guy had his first experience with a video game, Warframe, with playing with this guy, and this guy just blasts through, doesn't even think about anybody else. So there's always going to be those gamers out there that do not give a fuck because they're so fucking selfish. They're they're probably only children. Now
in DC Universe Online, people, you could die right next to a fellow DPS, because you run an 8-man raid, you got 4 DPS, a tank.
Yeah, but if he's a DPS, picking you up is going to lower his DPS.
Exactly.
So
They'll stand there and watch. They won't revive you because, the reason is I can't lose out on DPS numbers because the scorecard.
It just happened.
And I'm like, you're kidding me.
We were fighting like a mini boss or whatever, Kayla the Thame. We were both on the ground. My buddy was there hacking away at Kayla. Could have stopped because she was slowed. I had slowed her, but instead we both die. While he's like, oh man, I did all the damage. I was like, you're right. My frost that slowed her in the globe did nothing. Yeah, and I didn't just save you from taking all this damage, you piece of shit.
And that's where
that's a buddy of mine.
Communities
with friends like that.
That's where communities and clans come in. Right there. I mean,
and he's part of my clan. But you can't rein in. You can't rein them in all the time.
I think this is it. Like with me, I mean, how long? I'm a little over 5 years with the gaming community, right? That I started, and all of us are the same way. We all like to enjoy ourselves, have fun, work together, all that good stuff. Of course, there are times you've seen it on videos where we just blast through things because we're just trying to get something. But the majority of the time, we're always doing it together, no matter what it is, always together. And if in the case of like Warframe, one of those guys goes down in a mission, we all go back for him.
Right.
Well,
see, even that, I'm like, you don't need everyone to. It should be logical that whoever's closest would do that. You should know your roles, but I become more of a little bitch like that because I did so much MMO grouping and raiding that I'm like, play your roles. There's a designated person that should be for that type of stuff, or you should use your own knowledge.
Exactly.
But gamers don't know how to grow as gamers anymore. They're just like, I don't know. I don't even know how they fucking play anymore.
Okay,
I play solo so much.
I gotta interrupt your Janser.
You absolutely can interrupt. Yeah.
Yes, you're making the assumption. You're making that this minority, that this vocal minority is the majority.
No, they're not the vocal minority. They are the reality of what exists if you play in random groups.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Not always.
Most of the time.
I don't know where you encounter these players from. I play
most
a
of the
variety
time years playing video games for years, literally. I mean, we're talking decades at this point, probably.
I know where 4 years, dude.
I know where you encounter it from. You encounter it from the popular YouTube channels that teach you how to do it that way. Seriously, and it doesn't matter what game it is, but they teach you how to do it the way they want it done, and then they create what we call the meta, and this has to be done this fast. You can't worry about this. You can't worry about that. You just go through this, and this, and this is how it has to be done. And because there's such a big channel, they have that influence, and it just spreads and spreads.
Oh, you hit the nail on that. You hit the nail on the head there, man. You hit the fucking nail on the head.
But that's a new thing. That's just like a concentrated focus of that shittiness now being able to affect more people, and then people shaking their heads, it's everyone else's fault that they don't know how to play. No,
I wouldn't say that's new. I would say it's become...
No, YouTube is new. It gives them the platform to just spread that bullshit.
I think World of Warcraft started all that shit.
Yeah.
The numbers game. The numbers game's always been there, but that didn't help in World of Warcraft. That's true. It became really big there. That's true.
I've played Marvel Heroes, and we don't have voice chat except for my league guys, but we'll be running with a guy, and he'll put in the group chat down there. He'll type, "Oh, we got to do it this way because I saw this. I saw Null Rage do it on a video, or we have to do it this way because that's not what this guy says, And he's got a big Marvel Heroes YouTube channel. I'm like, we can do it either way. We can get it done the other way. We don't have to do it exactly like he says in the video.
Yeah. To be fair, I think that there are definitely players that, Gamertron, he does his own thing. You're never going to tell him how to do something, he might just go, "Oh, that's really nice," and just do whatever he's gonna do.
Oh,
You know,
that's kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I know Grindhead Jim, he's in chat right now.
Grindhead
He's like
Jim,
that
yeah.
too. He talks about that in Destiny all the time. He's like, well, the meta is this, and you think that this is the most powerful. He's kind of like Dan when he thinks about powers and abilities too. He's like, you think that this is the most powerful thing because it looks like it is, because it kind of is. But if you look at this other ability, I remember him talking about something in PvP the other day. I just can't remember the particulars because it's Destiny. I don't really follow it as much. But you know, he thinks about things that way too. Is like what's beyond what the plain assumption of the most powerful thing is, you know.
And that's kind of the way you like to play your games anyway, Janzer.
Oh,
that's part of the fun for you.
I love complexity and puzzles and making
And
things
believe
worse
it or
than
not,
they need
that's
to be.
most people. That's
Right.
No, I don't
honestly
think so.
most people.
No,
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
so. I don't think
most
so.
people are cookie cutter, man.
Yeah.
Most people are just
Most
cookie
people
cutter.
are cookie cutter and they'll do.
They
what
want a
they're told.
Nekopara.
No,
They
I
want some
can't.
catgirls in their life. That's what they want.
Now they want a guru that's telling them how to do it exactly, and they don't want to think. They want to shut their brain off and
It's
be
true.
able to. You know.
I can't believe that. I can't.
Oh my
believe
God!
that. That's
You can't
not
be
my...
this non-cynical.
Well, if we're
Oh my
talking,
God, Gamertron.
Give him a few years. Give him 5 more
He
years.
is not jaded yet.
I know he has not been. Yeah,
Holy
he needs
shit,
to.
Gamertron.
It's because he hasn't played an MMO. He's got to go deep into an MMO for a few years and then come out the other side like, oh my God.
Play
Oh my
DC
God.
Universe. Play DC Universe for a year. Your hair will be gray. You'll
Aaron,
come out.
I don't even want to play that.
You won't see sunshines and roses when you walk out in your little nice Canadian community, and there's sunshine and roses
Oh,
and
please,
rainbows,
Canadian
and
community.
unicorns.
Dude, I live in the worst, awful part of Canada. I have to stay optimistic, else I die. I live in the worst part of Canada.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
I love your willpower, man.
I wanna move us forward, but if y'all want to close up with anything about, basically, I'm gonna label that gaming community and doing it your own way, because that's really what it. You know, like I think a lot of us here, we're gonna do what we want to do, and we've found
So
good
does
ways to
everybody
play.
else.
Yeah, well, not everybody. No,
Yep,
that's why
everybody
YouTube
else.
channels are popular, baby.
you
Right.
know, one of the main reasons I haven't
The old
released
videos.
that Saren Prime video that I was going to do is because it might be too complicated for people to understand how I actually play in an in-depth way, because it's more than just one weapon or one piece of gear that's involved. And when they have to think about synergizing things properly, it becomes too complicated.
Yeah. Well,
But that's how you
Yeah.
actually beat the meta, and that's how you actually enjoy yourself, by
True.
thinking and taking all these different things and bringing them into one.
True. Dude, Dan, I tweeted out, I'm sure you saw it. I was like, all these people bitching about the nerfs in Warframe. I've been running with new players. I've been running with 2-man, 3-man teams, the sorties.
I think it's gotten
The
better.
Vayhack sortie boss, Kale of them sortie boss. So they're the harder versions. I've been running with quote unquote not good gear or not good players, people that don't know the meta, don't know anything. We have been beating this shit. So all of these little bit, I saw a dude the other day. I wish I could name him, but I can't remember his shitty channel. Anyways, unfortunately, he's got close to the same. He's got close to the same viewers as I do, and he was bitching about how the efficiency of his XCOW Exalted Blade wasn't killing as quickly as it was. I was like, oh no! So you have to.
And they're
change your-
complaining
you
about the
have to
damage
adapt.
fall off and
Oh no!
all
Oh,
these
what do
things.
you do?
I
And
mean,
the
you
whole-
look at those videos I created. I mean, how many people have hit that dislike button? They refuse to make
Yeah.
a comment because they really don't have anything to say, and it's like they're blaming me for DE making those changes. But
Oh
it's
God, I mentioned that
Right.
too in comments. I was like, these guys are. You literally reported on one video about stuff. You just reported, and you had like 8 dislikes. I was like, he didn't even say anything. In fact, you were
He's
almost
just-
on the
yeah.
side of the
no,
gamers in
because
that moment.
I opened my mouth, and I mean that's basically what it is.
Well, Dan, to be fair, I have actually been following your YouTube channel, and I have to say, I think you've attracted a great deal of trolls. I think you've, unfortunately, like, it's not against you. Like, what you do is good, and your videos are good. What you do, and you do it well. Unfortunately, you've attracted some less than
Desirable?
appealing individuals. Yes, less than
Yeah,
desirable individuals.
Gamertron, you would
I'm
know
so
about
sorry
that.
for that.
'Cause you got quite a few
Nah.
dislikes going on your way as well, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
over the overlooking doom stuff, calling people out.
But
Mhm.
it's just funny because somebody said something to me the other day, and I said, you know what's interesting? People will come to the channel, and this happens to everybody's channel, right? They'll come to the channel, hit the dislike button, they'll leave. They'll never say anything. You'll never understand why they disliked it. Was it something you did, or is it the topic in general?
Yeah, you don't
Are
really
they
know
mad at
specifically, right?
the developer and they're just taking it out on you? And unless they open their mouth and say something, nothing will ever get done from any aspect.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you don't voice your opinion, you don't make that comment, how am I going to go in Warframe's case? You guys know I take all these videos and I give them over to them and I say, hey, listen, I talked about this topic. Here's a lot of comments from people because people don't want to hit the forums all the time. They
Yeah,
would
it's
much
true.
rather hear
Yeah.
hear the forum thread or hear something going on, talk about it in a comment, and know that it's getting over to the developers. But then you got people that, I'm just going to hit the dislike button. Screw it. I'm not going to voice my opinion because it isn't going to matter. But it does matter. And it matters a lot.
It could matter, but that's about that building gaming community and all that. Oh, yeah.
I don't ever hit a dislike button on it. The only
I do.
like
I fucking dislike a lot of videos. I just bam, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Die.
well, yeah, that's the. I mean, if it's somebody that's just like commenting on something the developer did, I'm not going to sit there and go, well, I didn't like what the developer did there, so I'm
That's
going to
different.
dislike this
Right.
video. I don't do that. I mean, I'll dislike a guy that'll sit there and complain about McJuggernuggets or something being fake or something. I'm like, of course he's fucking fake, you idiot. You're jealous.
I don't know who this guy is, but that name is hilarious to me.
Yeah,
Juggernuts.
he's a real popular YouTuber.
I just Juggernuts is all I ever think.
Leave my juggly nuts alone, okay?
McJuggernuggets, yeah, but
yeah, people are really
well, there's a
on
big
his
thing in the
nuts.
YouTube community is McJugger. People have like YouTube channels based on.
I think he's in California now. I tracked him
Yeah.
to my analytics and I narrowed it down by
McJuggernuggets
state.
videos are fake, and I'm like, of course they're fake. It's a goddamn skit, you fucking brain dead
I think
morons.
that's
So
been
good.
established by everybody that does that type of content, that it's pretty much
it's
all
so
fake.
Cancer.
It's staged,
Soft
of
cancer.
course.
I
Yeah.
saw this one guy's channel turn from gaming into that kind of bullshit, reporting on other YouTubers because he got more views.
Of course, to me, I will.
Oh,
those
are we
the
bringing
guys
this
I
up?
dislike.
Are we bringing this up? Because
We don't
I
need to
know
name names,
this.
Nah.
but I'm just
I
saying
know
that
this. I've been
that
following this
that
for a while
has-
now, so believe
that's
me.
apparently, if even I'm seeing it, I stay away from everything
That's
except
the
for
big
like
thing now. Make
the
your
stuff I
YouTube
watch.
channel about somebody else's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
fucking big thing.
Exactly. But to be fair, though, this is almost becoming a new type of content, and you can
It is.
easily avoid it. You can easily avoid it because
yeah, just don't watch it.
Mhm,
No,
just don't watch it. If you don't want to support it, don't support it. Because here's the thing, though. Like, I actually, believe it or not, at first, I was very pissed at these YouTubers. Goes like, how could you? How dare you? Like, this is so despicable. Then it clicked in my head. Oh, the views. Like, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, like, they want to keep making YouTube videos. Like, it's the same thing with me. I want to keep making YouTube videos. I love this as a living.
Is when they complain about it, and then in their comments, people are complaining about it, but they're still talking about it. They're still making the videos. It's
don't watch the
stupid
videos.
shit,
They-
yeah.
They make the videos because you watch them. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
This is
Because you watch them. They
turning
make
into
money
the
off those
YouTube
Yeah,
salt cast. Jeez.
Hey, any YouTuber that can make $1 million a year, I mean, go for it. But make content that's original. Don't sit there and make a YouTube channel worrying about what somebody else is doing as far as their videos. Who cares if McJuggernuggets shit's fake? Make your own fucking content. Yeah,
Well,
talk
but
about
that's
the
not
original.
always the same way, because then you got the part where you are making your own content, but your content is now compared to everybody else's
No,
content.
that's gonna always
and
happen.
you get
Yeah.
ripped on about, he's just trying to be like this guy because he wants to be popular too. And in
like
fact,
Leafy.
it's
Everybody's
not the way
doing
it all
the Leafy
is.
style. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
No, I
that
think
guy, I
guys-
watched one of that guy's videos. I can't. Wow, I think people it's a love of outrage.
Yeah.
It's a love of outrage, and they want that. And Mr. Gamertron, in fact, you did an Overwatch video where you were talking about some criticisms that you had. a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of dislikes. You also did another video where you were talking about how it's one of the best multiplayer experiences, I believe. Not very many views. Not a whole lot of, it still had some dislikes, but not a lot. There were a couple of people even in on that were calling you out saying, well, why did you change your mind? And thankfully your community that you built is like, you don't know what he does, do you? You just don't listen. And it's the fact that you look at games from a wide perspective. It's not just this is a piece of shit, whatever. That's not what Gamertron's doing with any of the games that he's talking about. Even Call of Duty, he when he's playing, when he's talking about those games, he's not saying this is a piece of trash, never buy it. He's like, we should invest our money elsewhere if we don't want these things to exist anymore.
Yes. Oh, Chanter, I could get hug, kisses, prostitutes,
it's
all around.
I take the prostitutes. That sounds good.
Prostitutes.
But
Well,
back to,
isn't that essential though, Janzer, in everybody's stuff? Is that it's an opinion, and some opinions like Gamertron does have a very neutral opinion on a lot of things, because he gives you both sides of it. But in the end,
not really neutral. He has a very specific opinion,
right?
But he is decent enough to say, "Here's this other thing as well." But he has a very strict agenda. Like, he will tell you, because he repeats it. He hammers it home, and that does work.
And then people complain, "Why are you repeating yourself?" Because nobody listens.
It's also a very well-known psychological learning, tool that it's repetition. So,
but in the end, this is what we all do. We voice our opinions and tell you what our thoughts are, and it's up to you, the viewer, to turn around and say, yeah, I agree with him, I don't agree with him. Let me go watch somebody else's stuff and see what they think as well, and kind of get opinions from more than one person. But not everybody does that.
Yeah, videos start conversations,
Okay, before we move on to something else, I'd like to bring up something just very, very quick. Bring up something very, very quickly when it comes to
Overwatch?
When it comes to these kind of people that leave these like shitty comments and say, "Oh, you're copying from someone. Oh, you're a piece of shit. I'll kill yourself." These comments, these people that leave these kinds of comments, they leave them because they know they can get away with them because they have nothing to be afraid of. If
they also know it's going to get your attention.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I've encountered people who have left hateful comments on my channel. I once went to a grocery store. I was talking to a grocery clerk about, where can I find this item? Someone walked up to me and said,
"You were
hey,
chatting up a chick. You were trying to get her number."
That's a story for another time. Anyway. So this person walked out to me and asked, "Hey, your voice sounds familiar. Do I know you from somewhere?" I started naming stuff off. Well, I went to this high school. Well, I have a YouTube channel. He's like, "Oh, you're this guy." Yes.
And then sploosh.
And then I asked him, "Oh, have you watched my videos?" He said, "Yeah, I kind of."
You're a pimp. You're pimping your YouTube to get. Are you serious?
Oh my! Man. Anyways, the guy, like he said, "Oh, I left this comment telling you to I hate you. You're an idiot. You're that kind of thing." And when I said, "Oh, you want to say that again to my face now? You don't. I'm sorry. Is this uncomfortable? Do you not have a keyboard in front of you? Do you want me to get you a keyboard? Will you feel better?" And he just walked away with and lowered his head in shame. Like I don't know if he cried or not, but. You gotta understand about these people. They only say these things because they know they can say them without repercussions. Because it's not.
True.
Well, yeah, I call it Facebook courage.
Yeah.
No. It's because they're the ones in real life that are picked on all the time, so they can come to the internet and pick on somebody else and make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Except for with me, you don't get away with it on my channel.
Cal, I read your Twitch page and it says you can make fun of me all you want, but be decent to each other.
Yeah, be nice to anybody else, but yeah, you can make fun of me all you want. I encourage it. Actually, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Cal is definitely a bit saltier. Like, he will handle it more than even I would. I don't like putting up with it, but he does, because his other podcast, the one that he used to
I used to encourage trolls to come on my podcast and do shit. Like, you can come on and start shit. That was kind of our thing. And the guy I had that I started that podcast with, Glenn, they call him, he calls himself Vagrant or whatever. He was not really expecting that. He thought we were going to be a patch notes type of podcast. And I was like, no, I'm calling this the DCUO project because I'm trying to like stir up some more interest for the game by, I mean, the community is already toxic, so might as well run with it. You know what I mean? And start like people having fun and it was popular for a while, but I encourage people to come on there. You can insult me all you want. That's fine.
Yeah,
I love that kind of stuff.
He can handle it. He can, he can work his way around it.
I mean, you want to go meet somewhere, we'll meet and duke it out. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It don't bother me.
Oh man.
All right. Okay. Time for another
let's
topic.
move on.
Who's
I do
next?
want to ask Count one thing real quick though.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about this Mystique movie that they're potentially talking about doing? And if so, apparently Jennifer Lawrence is out. You know, she's done anyways, and McAvoy's not coming back. They said supposedly all three. If all three don't show up, you know, from the first X-Men, X-Men First Class. What it was McAvoy, Lawrence, and who's the other guy?
Fassbender. Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
If the one
or
didn't
Facebender,
resign,
don't I call him Facebender? Yeah,
Facebender. Yeah, that supposedly they had a
great
pact
actor.
that they would all come back.
Great actor, Michael
Fassbender.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, but you could tell none of their hearts were in that X-Men Apocalypse movie. You talk about phoning it in. I mean, it's a wonder they didn't have their phones in their hands while they're filming the scene.
Jennifer Lawrence said that, it was the fumes from the paint, but apparently she also didn't wear the fucking paint very much. So where that came from?
She's not even in makeup like 2 minutes in the whole movie. And that's Mystique. And for one, they got off the rails a long time ago. Mystique's never even been a fucking main X-Men character. Never.
Right, so her getting a movie?
Get the fuck out of here is what I say about that.
I'm just waiting to hear you say that.
Out of here. Don't come with that bullshit.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hey, you did remind me before we move on and get to the guest. Marvel did pick up the rights back to one Marvel character, Namor the Submariner.
Yes, I read that.
Yeah, they have Namor back. So yes, I'm loving
we'll
it.
see what they do with that. Let's see what they do with that. That'll be interesting. I don't know. Maybe we can speculate on it next time or something. But all right. So that kind of wraps up your section.
Count's out. I'm out.
Count is out. He's down for the count.
I'm joking. I'm
out. Chocula. He's like, fuck you. I'm out. Done my part. Give me my money.
Yeah. Pay me, bitch.
Where's my pizza and prostitutes? Wait.
I'm moving to Canada, damn it.
Wow. Oh, shit. Well, apparently the Canadian women will fill you up.
I love
That's what Mr. Gamertron has said.
Dude, and the girl.
No, that's not what I said.
You totally said that.
Okay, maybe. Not with those words specifically.
Well, I lived in Toronto. I lived in Scarborough for
lucky
5
bastard!
months.
Toronto is a wonderful
He was out there
place
punching
to live.
French Canadian speakers.
Well, no, I was there for sports. I was training for table tennis when I was like 18 years old at the University of Toronto, and
oh man,
I got to travel around and go to like U.S. Opens and.
Did you wear the ball?
I'll tell you, the French Quebec team. We had to play them a bunch, and man, those chicks are hot, dude.
Okay,
they're hot,
like,
but they're fucking
sir,
bitches.
you have something sticking out of your short shorts.
I'm sorry, but they have attitudes, man. Those French Quebec, oh man, they have attitudes.
But if you're persistent, you can get exactly.
Yeah.
If you're persistent, you can get past that. Yeah, it absolutely is. Absolutely.
How did I get to that? Anyway, just shut me.
I'm digging it. All right, Gamertron, you want to lead out with something? What do you got? What do you got this week? We'll get to Mr. Dan next.
Oh, I ain't got nothing.
That's okay.
No,
you got plenty. You got plenty.
American Truck Simulator. I've seen your videos.
Yeah, I think you and Count both play it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few actual requests for some skins and stuff I have to do.
Why don't we hear about? Yeah, do you mind Gamertron? Can we bump?
No. Go to him first.
User entered your channel.
It's absolutely perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Dude, Dan, seriously, you can go. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
No. Actually, what you're gonna do is you can start talking first because I need a minute. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Oh,
okay. All right, go ahead.
No problem.
All right, Gamertron, go for it.
Okay, well, I guess what I want to talk about is something that, unless, Janzer, I'm sorry if I'm stealing from you again, I surprisingly keep doing this and I don't mean to. Want to talk about Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay, no, you're not stealing from me. But yeah, something did come up that I kind of worked with one of Grammaton Dryad, and we were talking about that content. Go for it.
So, me and Janzer throughout this week, like, we really got back into Rainbow Six Siege, tried out the new content, took a look.
I was streaming it right before this.
Oh, I saw that. I saw
Nice.
that. Awesome. They've added, with the new update, now that we've actually had some extensive time to play it, we've played on the new map. Janzer has gone to play with the 2 new operators. I have finally gone to see them in action. We've tried out the new, I already said try out the new map. Ugh. We checked out all the new cosmetics for all the new operators. There's this new headgear that you can purchase that changes the look of the operators. They have a ton of new systems in place for a variety of things. There's like a new top player system where at the end of the game you like see your operators, your characters all standing next to each other, and the top player of the game is in the middle. And I think this was simply a superb update to Siege. Simply a superb update. Really add a decent amount of content, some nice little new features. The new cosmetics are fucking beast and well made. God, I want to get those cosmetics. Well, some of them, yeah. Admittedly, there are some reskins.
My Bay IQ she kind of just got the shaft on that one, and not in a good way. So
well, she's got a decent one. She's got the little eyepiece. She's got the eyepiece one.
What about Twitch? What about Twitch?
Okay, yeah, she got shafted. She
exactly.
absolutely got shafted.
Not in a good way.
All right. Then.
Where's my Rainbow Six Siege porn? Why's Overwatch got all the porn?
Overwatch is in trouble for all that porn.
I know they are, but that's not gonna. That's an upward. They're not gonna win that battle.
No,
that's why there's even more.
Blizzard's got the lawyers.
They're not gonna win. They're not gonna win against trolls. It ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Janzer, what do you think about you just said that the top player, they show the top player in the middle. Is that something you like? The addition to that game?
You're talking about
Siege.
Did I say that? Gamatron just said that.
I talked about it, but he wants to know what you think about
it. I don't really care but then again, I'm probably more of a rare breed of gamer where I really do look at the overall team play. In fact, we played Gamatron, myself, and Mr. Graham. No worries, Jim. Jim entered our channel just to get the no lag. That's a little bonus perk, I suppose. But we played a game, and we played a few games the other night, and I wish we had more time. Hopefully we will in the near future. And basically, I played with Valkyrie as the defender, and she's got cameras. And so one of the worries that I have about gaming, and I've actually heard it, thankfully I've heard it because of Overwatch. I mean, listening to a lot of other podcasts I always do, people are complaining about well, what about the support? What about support? Mercy's not getting play of the game. It's going to fucking Bastion, blah, 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 you know? But I think they do it pretty well because Gamatron, you can verify. I think I had 3 kills in one map and I got play of the game. Or
it's
I got
random.
No, not in Rainbow Six.
Oh, not in Rainbow Six, but in Overwatch it's random.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't care about that. But I just meant people talking about why are I getting blah, blah, blah. Support's not getting the respect it needs. And I was like, dude, I've been talking about that since MMOs. That support, it's never about support. It's about kills, you know. But
damage numbers. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Rainbow Six Siege, I was mostly doing call outs and targeting people, and I got I was either 2 and sometimes 1 with very few kills,
nice.
Maybe 2 or 3 kills. When these guys were hitting 13 to 15 kills each, you know? So I think they've got some kind of a system there where they're able to tell okay, you're checking all the, you're able to mark all these enemies, and they probably give you points based on the
get points for all the
they do
stuff.
They do.
Yeah. How do you think about that, Gamatron? I mean, is that something? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. At the end, I'm the top player, but if they do it the way Janser's describing it, I am. I'm a fan of that. It's not
always the number 1 killer is.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. The number 1 killer is going to be in the middle and gets all the accolades.
No,
that's awesome.
Since we're on Rainbow Six, did you see that new starter edition that they came out with?
Yeah.
What's your
thoughts?
What we're
getting at, Mr. Dan. Thanks for bringing it up. Yes.
Because I've been looking at it now that the starter edition is there. Because I really don't
Tell
care
me you're
if
getting
it takes.
motherfucker.
I don't care if it takes
Join our team.
Longer to get the operators opened up.
We've got news about that. Gamertron, do you have that right now? Because I do.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, please.
Okay, so with the new starter edition, you pay only $20. If you
15.
want to buy Rainbow,
15.
I'm looking.
It's true.
Oh, sorry for Canada. It's
You're
$20.
Canada.
Here,
They
sorry.
charge you more for everything.
You
It's
blame
true.
Yeah, they
Canada.
do.
Blame Canada.
Canada bucks, not as cool as U.S. bucks.
Okay, so I'll scale it back.
$15 US.
Yes, $15 US, $20 Canada. So $50, $15 US with $15 US. So if you want to buy the regular Rainbow Six, it's the full price, $60. The difference between the new starter edition is that you get 2 operators for free, 2 random operators for free, but all the other operators cost a lot more renown, which is the in-game currency in Rainbow Six Siege, renown. All the operators cost more renown.
That's 12,500 for
yeah, exactly.
that. Or seasonal ones are 25,000. That's a little bit pricey.
Right, but that's even for like Mr. Gamertron. They're 25 for you as well, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They don't charge the starter pack people more for the seasonal ones. They're at the same. Basically, only the first 20 are at a higher cost.
Right.
But continue, Mr. Gamertron.
But essentially, like there is no disadvantage from getting the starter kit or the regular edition. I mean, if you get the regular edition, the $60 version of Rainbow Six Siege, of course, all the operators are going to be at a lower price. Well, except the new seasonal ones, like you talked about. But essentially, people are getting access to the game. And basically all its content, all the maps, all the modes, nothing restricts you. The weapon skins, also available. The little emotes and headgear, the cosmetics, also available.
I've got even more detail on this. So what Graham and I found out was, first off, you get 600 credits, like Rainbow Bucks. I call them Rainbow Six Bucks.
So you can actually buy 2 more on the top.
You can buy 2 of your own choosing. You get 2 random ones. So you can only buy 2 of your own choice. Now this definitely affects the team that you're playing on, because if I like using Twitch and IQ and you buy Twitch and IQ, I'm gonna hate you, because you're gonna hate me because I'm gonna try to pick them all the time. We're gonna not like each other. But now I put on screen right now something from Mr. Grammaton Dryad. Thank you for that, taking the snapshot. I don't have this because I am an elitist piece of shit and I have the season pass. I pre-ordered and everything. Like, I love this game. So on screen right now, what you see there is 4 operators, 70% off. So he doesn't have to pay as much renown to get these operators. So there's huge discounts. There were 2 of them that were 40% off, but right now, apparently these were 70% off. So even among that, you're getting some deep cuts. It just depends on what they're posting up for the week as a weekly discount or other discounts. So it's actually kind of interesting.
So what you're saying, though, is like if you did it now and you had the 600 credits, you could
no, not credits. Renown. Like, in fact, Grams, thank you for posting that in chat as well. Instead of paying 12,500 renown, you'd pay 3,750 renown. So that's just a slight bit more. So you actually still get deep cuts in the renown. Like, you can just play the game. Like I love to see in Warframe. Everybody that ever asks me, how do you get good in Warframe? I always say, play the fucking game. Just play the fucking game. You're going to get shit that you need if you play the fucking game. And you're going to learn how to play the game when you play the fucking game. You're going to learn that end game meta when you play the game. So,
what's end game meta? What's that? Fashion frame?
Well,
hey, I showed you the end game in Doom. I mean, it didn't take me long to find that.
True. Good job, man. Yeah, I got all the dance moves.
And I mean, you saw that one guy immediately got pissed off at me, because I showed it.
Whatever. Little bitches are going to be little bitches everywhere. So, so for $15,
I thought that was a great deal. I honestly thought $15 because I played it in the beta over and over, and I'm like, okay, 2 random guys. You get the extra credits to get 2 more, and then you're talking now. You're saying that they have the discounts on the renown and stuff. So if you've been saving up renown, you can, on a discount weekend or whatever it is, you can go ahead and get even more quicker. But honestly, I mean, in the beta, I played all the ones that are available, and every single one felt different enough that I enjoyed playing whichever one I had a chance to play.
It's true, man. It's so true. Like, I thought the that I was not going to enjoy playing the female operators because what I saw from their previews was not very great, but they were like, no, we got you covered, man. They've got great weaponry. They've got great loadouts. There's just little things about how they function, whether it's their special or not, that just makes them really fun for me to play. My favorites are IQ, Twitch, and Ash. With oh my God, the guy that didn't have a shotgun that eventually got one. I can't even remember his name.
Thatcher.
Thatcher, yeah, Thatcher coming in a close like fourth or third there because I really I enjoy the weaponry on the different people. Plus, just their extra little abilities is fun as well. I was using Twitch today. I mean, not Twitch, but IQ. Yeah, I was using IQ today, just running around. It's a great time, and just they do have enough of a different feel to them, so it's good. I just love the game. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I can't.
No, I like the game a lot, but its problem is I won't play. I like that for other reasons than the PvP aspect, if that makes sense.
No, I don't even play PvP.
I always like the other portion of it.
And
I thought the $15 was very enticing to me.
All right.
Dude,
Holy
I
shit.
recommend it. I absolutely recommend it. Like Janser and I've played this game a great deal, and it's a really good shooter. It's a really good shooter. Just the little things it does makes it so special to other games. The fact that you have a set health bar, there's no regenerating health, and there's no like med kits or anything like that. It forces you to play smart. It forces you to take cover.
No med kits, I'm screwed.
One other key thing that Grammaton Dried reminded me of today when we were playing. You still get the rookie, right? Now I was playing with the rookie way back because I was like, you know what? He's actually got some interesting things. He's kind of a middle of the line. You don't get any cool like I don't got a sledgehammer, but you do get like explosives and flashbangs. So it's kind of nice. But he gets access to every weapon. So that auto shotgun on the defender side that you never get to play with as an attacker, oh yeah, you can. Yeah, good fucking times. I didn't know that because I never thought about it when I would play him. It was so far back. Anyways, so you still get that guy. So technically you got 5 dudes to play with. 2 attackers, 2 defenders initially, and then the rookie dude that can almost every weapon. He's saying almost every weapon. Yeah.
Oh man. Siege is one of those shooters like I know a lot of people have I hate to be a negative Nancy here, but I know a lot of people have given Rainbow Six Siege shit for having this kind of free-to-play-esque kind of progression system. Yeah. But to be fair, with a lot of AAA games nowadays, it takes a lot of money. People don't realize how expensive games are to make nowadays. And keep in mind that everything in Rainbow Six Siege is built from the ground up. They have no other previous games or previous iterations. They have no assets to pull from. They're building everything from scratch here.
Yeah, I looked this morning at Twitch to see what games were ranking, and Rainbow Six Siege was still up there within the top 10, top 15 at least. Right. So it's a game that they're going to keep pushing and supporting because they're trying to give it that competitive aspect, and anything that's got that external money behind it as well has got the pressure behind it to like keep updated and keep new content, and where they're just going to keep working on it. So
they had a good marketing campaign as well.
Yeah, they
did. They got fucking
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Yeah. Come on, I was like, I was saying last time. But that's. I'm sorry to kind of like overtake the talk about that, Mr. Gamertron. But Siege is
cool.
Yeah.
I can buy the game right now, $14.99, and that's fucking insane.
I think to me, because it's Ubisoft, and I remember playing in the very first closed beta one with only less than 30 people on Ghost Recon Online. If anybody remembers that from years ago. I think they took a lot of aspects from that and they poured it into this Rainbow Six. And because that was a free-to-play that was very much team-based, the only way you were winning those matches against other players was as a team. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's the same thing in Siege, the exact same thing, whether it be PvE or PvE. You can play solo against the terrorists, but you're going to have a bit of a harder time. You have some teammates, you're working together, those terrorists don't stand a chance. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dan. Please continue.
no, but that's I think when I was playing it, when I played it in the beta, the Siege and beta, that's one of the aspects that I got out of it, because I played Ghost Recon Online forever when it was free to play, before they made it a pay to win scheme and changed it to Ghost Recon Phantoms, and that was the day that I immediately uninstalled the game and never went back to it.
Oh.
The minute it became a pay to win scheme, I was like, screw you guys, you're done. And I mean, I was friends with all the community managers. I was friends with all the general managers. I knew everybody. I had played with them since the beginning of closed beta. I was friends with half of the Frag Dolls when they existed at the time, because they were part of that game. I mean, and a couple of them lived right over here by me. But the moment the community got shifted to a pay-to-win scheme, when Ubisoft decided, hey, we're going to take this free-to-play game that's actually working really well for us and change it to the point where now you have to buy these weapons and all this stuff with cash, and if you do, you can get ahead on the game real quick. Yeah, it was gone.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things I wanted you to talk about too. That's why I was like, can we just talk with Dan real quick?
Of course,
but is that he's also been in other gaming, I guess, communities, so it's not like, people know him for Warframe right now, but there's other ones that he's been part of before. Yeah, so there's a lot of other things that he does, even though people tend to like to singularly take a Warframe YouTuber and say that's all you ever do, which I gotta thank you on the live cast here, Mr. Gamertron, for putting out that video about Warframe. Talking to a part of the community, as you notated in the beginning there. I think Count said it was like a medical like a disclaimer in the beginning of the video, just saying I'm only talking to a specific part of the community, blah 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 blah. But how people can lock down YouTubers, or it's really just content creators to one thing, because they want that one thing and they don't support the rest of it. And it happened when I switched over from I stopped Warframe stuff a long time ago. I finally came back around to doing some of it, but I would only do things that I wanted to and not what the community wanted. I knew what they wanted. But I would do other things like Rainbow Six Siege. My support dropped big time. Anything that I do that's not Warframe, massive decline.
Same thing happened with me in DC Universe. I instantly lost 1,000 subs, and I went from 35,000 views a month to, nothing.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any subs, but I definitely lost views when I stopped. Usually I do like one Warframe video a week, but now it's like one Warframe video every couple weeks.
I'm not saying anything about how bad my numbers have changed. I spent 2 months going 70% down in subscribers, and forget it. I mean, right now I'm down over 100,000 views a month, but that's pretty much because it has nothing to do with, I don't know, it's just I haven't been in as much of a mood to record as much Warframe stuff, and so it is what it is. But I don't care. I mean, it's there. The people that actually enjoy it come and watch it when I post it. And the people that, mind you, it's few and far between these days, but the people that actually come and watch the other stuff that I'm doing, they're there to watch other stuff. And I don't care. I've always said the same thing. Even if I have one or two people that want to watch something that I'm doing, if they're enjoying it, then I'm going to keep doing it. And
it's worth doing.
Really, when it comes down to, even if nobody liked it, and if I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't
got to push through some of that. It's true.
Because I shouldn't start playing a game and be like, oh, I'm only getting 30 people to watch this, and well, I've got 15,000 subs. There should be more people. Fuck it, I ain't gonna play this game anymore. Hell no. If I like it, it's going up, and it's gonna be played. I don't give a crap because I like it. It's that simple.
Yeah, I definitely.
You gotta make your channel. If you're not enjoying the videos you're making, then what's the point? I know they're saying, well, you gotta cater to your viewership. Well,
Somewhat.
You don't have to. Yeah, I mean,
No,
No,
you don't
the-
have to, but you can't fully ignore it either.
The
you
point
know?
Yeah, you
That's a
can't fully
balance.
ignore it, but there's
As
I mean,
any entertainer
Yeah.
would say, you know.
how do you make more money quicker is basically what it is. Do I go and do exactly what everybody tells me to do, or do I do what I want to do and in time get to where everybody else
exactly. Right.
I mean,
To
the
be
thing
fair,
about
people, to be fair, the people that just demand content from you, they're not the people you want to listen to, because to be fair,
Of
they're
course
out
not.
of touch with reality. Because you don't go around saying this to people.
Usually
No
when somebody
rational
demands
person
content
goes around
from me,
saying,
I'll tell them to go make it themselves.
"Yeah, there you go, there you go." Sorry, I interrupted. Please continue.
No, I interrupted you, but I mean that's usually I get those comments from time to time, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Well, you want to see something done specifically? Either go look for it from somebody else. Obviously, nobody else has it, or do it yourself." Because I'm not about to cater like that to people and specifically do something. Sometimes I will if it's something that I wanted to showcase anyway, or I was gonna do anyway. It might just go from the bottom of my list to the top of the list because somebody's asking for it. But when somebody
Well, I
comes
think
specifically and says do this, this, and this, I'm like, just do it
part
yourself.
part of it is, well, other than Gamertron, none of us here is like a full-time YouTuber, you know. So
Right,
I know when people have asked me,
We'll change
On
that. We'll
old-
change that.
no, you can't pay me, like, you got to pay me $100,000 a year, easy.
It'll
You know,
happen.
the price is
It'll
going to go up
happen.
every time you say that.
Right.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Wait, it was
It's not.
60,000 last
Yeah,
time.
because I was being nice.
Goddamn
Jesus Christ,
inflation.
come on. Yeah, that's what it is. Every month that goes by or a week. The whole thing is I don't have that time to stop what my plans are in order to accommodate something from a video that was talked about a year and a half ago that they, like, somebody asked me, "Oh, can you do something on the Magistar for Warframe?" And I was like, I could, but you could also, this is why I tell people in my chat or in comments, I'm like, if you come by my live stream, that's probably the best place that you're going to get me to be able to reactively do something that quickly, because
Right.
my week is very full as it is. And if I'm not, I'm trying to have some downtime. I'm trying to relax, you know, because I got very stressful stuff going on. So it's better to try to catch me on Twitch. That's why most of my stuff has gone to Twitch, export to YouTube, versus producing for YouTube for me to get like I worked really hard on that, you know, Wolfenstein first part, 30 views. I already know that. I'm not bitter about it. I'm like, yeah, I know that's what that's going to do. I know it's like 2 years late from if you don't hit it
That
immediately.
made you feel good to make it, though.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm like, yes, this is great. I wanted to do that. I've got all this content. I'm going to put it up anyways. But I also know that I don't need to put a lot of pressure on myself to get it out there, because it's going to be seen by my hardcore viewers. That's it. And that's cool. They're going to enjoy that. They're going to appreciate that. But they're not going to be pushing me to do it either, because they understand. So there's no, it's that balance of like, what are you trying to do with your channel or whatever, you know? You can't please the community. You can't please everything, you know, yourself, the community. Which one is it? You know, it's got to be a little bit of both. So
Can I say
I
a
got
word?
some comments that. Go ahead, Dan. Go.
yeah, of course.
A big word that most people never think of, and it's what I've always thought of when I was creating content: residual value.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, I get
Yeah,
people,
indeed.
oh man, nobody's watching your stuff. You know, you got so many subs and you're only getting 500 views. I'm like, come back to that video in a year
Yeah,
or
I'd love
so and
500
see what it
views.
looks like. Okay. But
Yeah. I had
I
a guy
know
comment.
residually what I'm creating is going to keep
Mhm.
going down the road. I mean, I look at content and stuff that I've created, and I'm amazed at how it still gets views on things from years ago. I mean, it's just
Dude, yeah.
crazy.
This Dead Space playthrough that I did, I get more on that than anything new that I've done. It is insane.
Oh, I
Except
still
for-
get more
except for-
comments on my old 3-year-old DC videos. I get more views on my outdated DC builds and all that stuff. I still get the most majority, even though
Yeah.
my new Marvel Hero stuff. Of course, the community's a lot smaller, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to think long term on that. Like
Yeah.
Dan was saying, you know.
I always think residually, and especially
Yep.
like with Warframe, I think of it residually because what I post now, it's sure I'm not necessarily posting it faster than anyone else,
Mhm.
and I get a lot of hits on the fact that sometimes you post way too many videos, and I'm like, if I put all this content into one video that's 3 minutes long, you get no value in the long run. Versus if I take their quest and I split it up into 6 episodes, and sure, maybe it's an hour long, now you've got the whole quest there. When you're looking for something specific down the road, you can go to a specific thing, and I get comments all the time. Like the second Dream Quest, always in different portions of the quest, or the the original quest that came out. I had it all split up, and I constantly get different comments on different portions of the videos because people are asking questions all the time.
Yeah, because that's the beginning part of the game, and there's a lot of need for hand holding in Warframe in the beginning. It's not a very easy to get into game.
No, it's not.
It's very fucking confusing.
It's a lot different now than what it was.
Oh God, yes, man. Shit, man. We've talked about it before. Way back in the day, they just threw you in a Grenier ship and like, good fucking luck. Here's a gun.
Or there's the fact
game's
that
changed so much
that people actually do relate back to me because they know, and even though I know there's some things about this, I have that secondary alternate account that is forever a new account, if you will. I have a limited amount of mods, limited amount of everything, and when I go on there, I can be like, hey, I just did the same thing you just did, but I did it with no mods, or I did it like this, and see, I can prove to you that it is potentially possible with skill to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. Hell, I did that, what was that? That one freaking, God, I can't even remember what the hell it was, that one tactical alert on my new account just to get that that mod.
I don't know, man.
The hell
There's
mod
a lot
was
of
that.
different.
That stance that everybody's been wanting to get forever. God,
the
great sword stance that came out years ago now.
Oh,
well, that's what makes Warframe such a special game. Such a special game is that we're playing through its development. Like, as much as some of us don't like to say it's not in beta, it's still not a finished product, still not a finished game.
Well, it's an ever-evolving game. I mean, it's
exactly.
Always going to keep evolving.
I gotta address this. Somebody said that Angry Joe was playing Warframe and that pretty much everybody gifted him everything.
Yep.
He's not going to get any of the experience of the game like that, you know?
I don't know why they would, because he's not going to play it beyond 1 or 2 episodes anyway.
Exactly.
It's true.
He's not,
he's going to shit on it for one episode. Yeah.
Nah. He actually praises the game. No, he praises the game and says AAA games should be like it. That's something he has said.
No, he is.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, we're not saying that. We're saying he's only going to play 1 or 2 episodes.
3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 days and he's done. He doesn't.
Well, then at the end of the day, if he's giving a positive review, does it really matter? He's helping out.
He's a reviewer. He's not a hardcore gamer, believe it or not. He loves games, but he jumps from. I mean, it's about just making money.
He's
kind of a victim. These big YouTubers become a victim of their own success, where they can't really sit and enjoy a game because they've got to constantly be cranking out content. You know.
Yeah.
It's a job for him now. Video games are a job.
You know what? The same thing's kind of happening to me. The same thing's kind of happening to me. There are some games. There are some games that I'd like to just sit down and play, but for the videos I want to make.
I feel so bad for you, Gamertron.
I feel bad for you too. You always got all these games you got to play.
Oh, damn.
The horror.
I know. It's not as bad as it seems, but there are some games where I can't actually
That's a rough life, dude.
Can I finish?
No. Struggle.
You have a nagging wife?
Yeah, Gamer's life struggle. Hashtag
there
Gamer's life
are
struggle.
some games that I can't I can't take my time with. For instance, last year with the Witcher Free Wild Hunt, I couldn't explore the world the way I wanted to. I couldn't play the game I wanted to because I had to beat the main story as quick as possible to see, is this game going to be in my top 10 games of 2015? I don't know. I need to beat it. Everybody's saying, oh, you need to beat this game.
Well, you know what they have to go through then. You know what games reviewers have to go through. Yeah. Yeah, you're legit doing it. You're just not employed by a big company. Why you're not, I don't know. You need to get out there, man.
I'm trying. I'm legitimately trying. But like I said, I live in the worst part of Canada. If you don't speak French, you can't get a job.
Hey, Gazillion's hiring, dude. Put your app in
move to the States. Go to California. Go to LA.
Yeah, Marvel Heroes. I'd love to see you on the Marvel Heroes live stream as one of the
LA Tron show.
That'd be fucking awesome. I'd be like, I know that guy.
There was a point where I felt like when new content came out, and this was a couple years ago, I had to be the first to get it out there. I had to showcase it. I had
Me
to
too.
do it. It had to be done. It had to be first. This, that, and everything else. And then I realized that I'm the one missing out on all this because I'm getting through stuff so fast, and I'm not really having fun with it. And okay, sure, I'm not the first one to post stuff anymore, but I'm probably the most detailed when it comes to playing it. And I know, Lord knows, I've spent more time, and I've said it over and over to people, I've spent more time on every weapon in Warframe in game than probably most people ever will because I don't Draco.
Yeah, well, same here,
And
man.
I don't
That's why
English
I like
very
that
well
little
either.
message, that little message that they sent. Thanks to all your hard work in Draco, we're giving you a gift. And I was like, fuck you guys, come on. I am actively against it. And well, the people that play with me and follow me on Twitter. Or
I think
whatever.
it was a pretty hard troll that they did there.
Oh, hell yes. But see, that's when they fuck up. They do shit like that to piss the community off directly. They shouldn't do that.
No,
they should
you're
know
making
better.
assumptions, Janzer. You're
No,
making
Janzer-
assumptions.
They're making
You're
assumptions
taking it
too.
personally.
I don't care.
You're taking
Damn
it
right, I'm taking it
personally.
personally because I've been playing. I've got at least
Well, they weren't
almost
talking to
63
you.
days
It was
now
not
in
directed
game.
at you.
I
Well,
think-
it is because I
directed
played
at
the
you.
game.
That's
Personally,
not directed at you.
I don't give a shit.
I
You know
think
what?
it was great, man. I personally think it's
It
great
was
because
great, but
they're
at the
showing-
same time, it's bullshit.
they're showing
No, it isn't.
their balls.
Yes, it
That's
is.
what they're doing. They're showing their balls for once and saying,
balls
hey,
are on stream.
you're
Everyone
going to
knows.
play our game the way we wanted you to play the game and how we intended you to play the game years ago. Sure, we're a little late to the party, but we're now going to put it down and say this is how it's going to be played, and it's going to be fair for everybody.
You know what? I defend them as much as I do, and I give them. I'm not
And
on
here's your
either
forma.
the gamer side or the developer side. I'm on the side of looking at everything, and that is not a popular side. You know that, Dan.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Because you give it to them as much as you give it to the gamers. Because
I give it
when
to everybody equally.
Yeah, I know, Dan.
Oh,
Yep.
I know some wonderful girls that would love to meet you.
Like I could rip
man.
on them right now for the fact that I went through I don't know, maybe 30 Tower 3 sabotage keys, and I have so much fucking forma out my ass right now is unbelievable. But I don't have any Volt Prime parts.
Oh man, if you need, I think I got a part or two. I might have a BP or something. I don't know. Jeez. Anyways, let's get off the Gamertron. Do you have any other games? I want to get away from
Gamertron's
that.
harem.
Do you have any other game?
It's
true.
not a harem.
He wants to talk about American Truck
It's a
Simulator.
Necopara harem.
It's not a harem.
He wants to get back to talking about like cat girls.
Cat
All right,
girls,
Gamer,
yeah.
What other?
Yep. That was perfect video, man. That was perfect video.
It was a great thank you, Dan. See,
Fine,
even
we'll
Dan-
talk. We'll
even
talk
Dan
about the
liked it.
stupid fucking cat girls.
Yes, you played a
I
great game
loved-
this week. What was the
I
game you
personally
played?
love the boob physics. I mean, I did.
It's true. I thought that they were too small, but hey, personal preference.
I thought they
So
were too
Gamertron,
covered up.
what games did you play this week?
What game did you play? What game?
That's your
what video
favorite
came
thing
out
to say.
yesterday? Yeah.
Okay. What games did I play this week?
Karma.
The positive stuff.
Karma.
Yes.
positive.
Yeah. Okay. Positive stuff. So I
Something
was
called
able to.
Necopara.
All right, fine. I'll start off with that. We'll get this out of the way.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you. It was a
yes.
gift. Might as well start with the gifts because
Yes.
Pasta
Yes.
salad?
they're positive.
So, our good buddy 109 Vaults gifted me
Such a great guy.
He is. He really is. Vaults. He is
Where's
a great guy.
Where's my free gift? Oh, I shouldn't say.
Vaults? Yeah.
Oh,
Where's Dan's
don't.
gift?
You-
Vaults.
No.
Dan?
I've got Lax.
No,
for
it's
that.
okay, Dan. I can
Lax-
help you out with this.
Lax always gives me troll games all the time that I just have never gotten to put up on the channel. You wouldn't even want to know some of these games.
Please, do.
Troll games are
Please,
fun, though.
can you just do like a super cut? Like just do a bunch of them all in one vid? Come on, that would be great shit. Anyways,
Wow.
Gamertron, please.
Okay, so I was gifted a visual novel, as some people like to describe this genre of game, called Necopara, which is Japanese for Cat Paradise. So the game focuses. I don't even know how to even describe this. This is barely a game. So all right. Okay, I can get through this.
Go ahead. Please, Mr. Gamertron, please.
Oh,
That's my cat in the background. I apologize.
I'm sure it was, Count. I'm sure it was. So,
Tell us about this cat paradise.
okay, so I played the game. I played the game for a good hour, gave it a chance, gave it a fair shot. And I can see no, actually, I can't see. Okay, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys about this game.
You gave it a fair shot. Did you get any on the screen?
Oh, shit.
Did you
Drops
install
mic. Done.
the XXX patch? That's the important part.
I think the stock and Kleenex just went up. But anyway.
Because if you didn't install the patch, then you didn't play the game.
For everyone listening, I'd like everyone to know that I actually tweeted necropera_PR and let them know that Mr. Gamertron loved the video, and I sent them the link to the video as well. True story.
Tom, I am Zen. You're all at peace.
You're Canadian. You're a great guy.
Okay, so Necopara, I can't understand. Yeah, this is my opinion. I can't understand why on the Steam store page for this game it has overwhelmingly positive reviews. Now, I can understand some people's appeal to visual novels, but in terms of this being a visual novel, Necopara is a poor excuse. Well, I did have fun making the video. I absolutely had fun making fun of the game. And even though I was overacting, like, if people say, oh, you were overacting the video. Yes, that wasn't obvious. I was absolutely
10 of 10 on the voice acting. I gotta admit, pretty good stuff, man.
Yeah, I was thinking, like,
I think you had good fun with it.
I did have good fun. I was thinking to myself, it would be boring if I just read the lines so plainly and robotically. Let's do different accents and throw people off.
Yeah.
But while I was playing the game, well, I wasn't even playing the game. And here's the biggest problem. This game is $10 on Steam with overwhelmingly positive reviews. You would think, with overwhelmingly positive reviews and it costing $10, that you would be getting some value for your money. There is no value in this game.
Oh, there's lots of value. I'm telling you, if you download the patch that exists
1 of 10
every
is too small.
visual novel anime...
I looked this up. That patch you're talking about, it's $20. You have to pay for that.
Yeah.
It's not free.
Oh, there's ways of getting everything
Porn's
for
free.
free.
You don't need
It's
that.
$15.
No, it's $20.
Porn's free. He's right.
Yeah, porn is free, but for this game,
In Canada, it's 15. Canada, porn's a lot more expensive.
yes,
That's right, that's true.
For the love of God,
Canadian money.
If you don't
costs
speak
more,
French,
right?
it's much more expensive. It's true.
that's actually is true, but we're not a political podcast here. Okay, the point is with Necopara, you're kind of being lied to. I feel like people are being lied to about this game with the overwhelming positive reviews, the $10. And I'm sorry to repeat myself here, but there's nothing of value here. There's like with other visual novels, you have like optional dialogue, you have
Bigger
different endings, multiple story choices, bigger boobs, yes, and you have like actual genuine animation. That's not the case with Necopara. While I was joking about a lot of stuff, and I was making fun of the transitions from scene to scene, I was actually kind of being serious. The transitions are actually really shitty.
Yeah, you tried your best.
This is really poorly animated. For a visual novel, the quality of this is, quite frankly, unacceptable. And it's actually
you hurt
kind
the
of
developers' feelings, because I did tweet them the link.
Yeah, I know they tweet the link. I'm sorry if I hurt the developers' feelings, but you made a below average quality product. And on top of that, there's barely a product here. I'm sorry if I'm acting too serious and you guys want me to be over the top here.
I heard you say something in the video. You said you could make a better game. I would love to see this.
I actually could. I could
love to see it. And why not get into video games development?
Oh, I believe, dude, I tried to. It's the reason I am so passionate about video games.
Here's another shot.
Give it another shot. But
there is no try.
I want to see a better version of Necopara by the Gamertron.
Okay, I'm not going to make a better version of that. I'll make a game. I'm making a better... That thing, there's no way of saving that. With these visual novel games, the whole point of the game, it's basically like a dating sim, but there's no dating sim in Necopara. You literally make no choice. The player has no control over anything. Basically, my job is Chronos. I'm the god of time, and nothing moves forward unless I click the mouse button. Literally, that's it. You have no response. You have no intervention. You cannot do anything in the game but press the mouse button and have the character speak more dialogue. You have no control. Like I said, there are no options. There's no multiple endings. There is nothing. You're basically watching a very shitty animated movie. A very shitty animated movie. On top of that, if you actually, like, pay attention, if you actually read the dialogue and pay attention to the story, the character development is atrocious. The characters are incredibly flat. They're incredibly cliche.
It's true. They are kind of flat.
They are I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there.
I expected more.
There was more, but it cost you $20 for that portion.
Yeah,
Increase
exactly.
the size,
that on itself is despicable. But the thing is, like, with these visual novels, they want you to care about the characters so that the sex scenes have more of an effect on you. But the characters are so horribly written that when the sex scenes come, and the sex scenes are atrocious, by the way, they're horribly animated. The thing is, don't care. Throughout the experience, I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated.
It's an empty experience.
Yeah, it's empty. Like I felt nothing. And when the sex scenes come, oh god, when the sex scenes arrive, like, you feel nothing for them. Like, you don't feel for these characters, and the sex scenes themselves, like, they're not appealing. They're not attractive. Like,
well,
you're not actually
what market they're going for, right?
I
mean, they're not going for, like, people that, like, probably have had sex or much. They're going for, like, shut-in gamers that are, like, imagining cat girls. I mean, that's pretty far to, like, have to not even imagine real women. You got to go further with your fantasy because don't even have a hold on reality, because you can't even. They probably
there
can't
is a
even date.
Huge market for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have conventions all over the place. I have a friend that actually goes to these kind of conventions. They'll cosplay. They're just nuts. It's like following the Grateful Dead or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy. They follow them around from conventions. They're absolutely obsessed with this kind of shit.
I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for your friend. I'm sorry if that's insulting. I apologize if that's offensive. Well, if he's happy, he's happy. When it comes to Nekopara, like, it fails on so many levels. Like, I will keep harping on the animation because they have time to animate the fucking tits. They have time to animate the boob physics, but they can't animate a door opening. They can't animate a box opening.
Well, you got to admit that their project manager knew where their points of concern were, and they funneled their resources into those areas. One of the biggest points of concern was they needed to have boob physics. Not a low point of concern was opening a door. Their head was in the right place, so to speak.
To Grindhead Jim in chat saying, I demand realism from my lesbian catgirl pornography. I'm not demanding realism. I demand that the developers, like, give a shit. Because I don't feel like they gave a shit. I feel like
they have a live version, Necropa Live, that has VR support.
Hey.
Oh.
That sounds interesting. Jim, can we expect your review? Any other games you played? I think that Nekopara.
No, I'm not talking. You sons of bitches wanted this. I'm going to keep talking about it. You keep harping on this. You're going to get more of it.
The chat has not had enough, if you will.
On top of that, again, the player character has no interaction with anything. You can't do anything, and you're basically looking through the eyes of this character called Cashew, which is such a fucking stupid name. Cashew? That's what you made your protagonist?
I saw the name, and I didn't pronounce it as you did, but I can't remember how it's spelled now.
It's a K-A-S-H-O-U.
O-U.
Yeah, Cashew. It's friggin' Cashew. The character who's you're supposedly looking through the eyes of, like, he's completely fucking despicable, and you can't understand for the life of me, whatever. I can't understand why these anime catgirls are attracted to them, because no one would be attracted to this douchebag. He's a complete and total, well, since we can say the C word on this podcast,
I see that
he's
as Shoyu. That's what I read that as.
I see Cashew.
Yeah, no,
Cashew,
I understand.
He's a cunt.
Westerners would.
I get that. He's a completely unlikable character. No woman would fight this guy. They'd probably kick the shit out of him. So the game finds an excuse. Like, they can't actually develop this character. They can't actually make him likable and make the characters fall in love with him. In the game, they make the excuse that the cat girls have to have sex with him, else they'll die. That's a genetic disorder. So the sex scenes are not only like they're not attractive, they're not loving, but they're also forced. Like
So it's
they're
a
not
very,
having
very low grade quality of any kind of experience.
Yes. The only redeeming quality about this game is its music. It's very uplifting, very cheery. It's very cartoony. I actually enjoyed the music. I will admit the music was actually nice. I complained about it in the video, but it was actually pretty nice music. But it's not worth $10 on it. It's not worth $20 on it for this stupid XXX patch. Like, I can understand people liking.
Well, how do you know it's not worth that money? Have you tried it? It might be.
You can check out it for free. Like, you can see the stuff. People have uploaded videos. So you don't have to waste your money. But here's the thing. There's no difference between watching this on YouTube. There's no difference between watching this on YouTube and playing the thing. Because, again, the player has no interaction. This is not worth any sort of money. There's no reason to buy this. You can literally watch this on YouTube, and you get your money's worth, it being free. This is not worth $10. Volt, thank you so much for buying this for me. I appreciate that you put the effort into purchasing me a gift and made a funny video, but this was not worth $10, man. I feel like you throw away your money here. There is nothing about this that's worth $10. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm glad people enjoyed the video I uploaded. I'm glad people like this genre of game, but if you look at other genres of this game, I can't believe I'm even about to say this, but Honey Pop is a better game.
No, I agree. Honey Pop is better. But what I thought was pretty good was Bird Game that everyone went crazy for.
Oh, yeah. Hetero boyfriend.
That is worse than this one by far. And people kept saying, oh, the story. It was shit. It was circular dialogue. I never played it, but I heard so much about it. There was a guy I watched play it on Twitch. I think Build Broadcast. He was doing it, and he was doing the voices, so it was kind of funny that he was making fun of it. And it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I felt sorry that if he spent money on it, but he did. I was like, I cannot believe that people are that fucking bored. They would play something like that. It was horrible. I'd rather play my Fallout Vault, whatever it is on my phone. That little game that the best way to play that game is to
Fallout Shelter.
It. Yeah, Fallout Shelter. The best way to play that game is to not play it.
Yeah.
You just set your stuff, go away, and then nothing will attack you. And then you come back, set your stuff real quick, go away, and then you can never get attacked. But yeah, Hetero Boys went horrible, but it got so much like attention on podcasts and blah blah. And I'm like, man, you guys are dumb. That's a horrible experience. But okay, that's interesting. I do agree. I've seen some of the Honey Pop stuff because I watch a channel on YouTube that they make a lot of comedy out of it.
Here's why Honey Pop is a little mean. There's actual
by far.
That too, but there's actual player interaction. There's dialogue options. The player, you actually get to do something in that game. It's actually worth your money because you can play the game.
We're gonna get a Doom Demon Simulator dating game soon. So. Let's
people want me to play that.
Yeah,
no.
I think let's move on to another one.
Yeah, let's move on.
This genre of games so far, if anybody knows of a very good one with actual animation and all that, send it B3 GameCast at gmail.com. Send us your suggestion, and maybe we'll play it and review it. Maybe we won't. Maybe Dan will actually do a compilation of all the troll games that Lax has given him, apparently, and put that on YouTube.
I won't reinstall some of these. I tried I Am Bread. I couldn't get past the first level. I said, fuck it.
What game?
I Am Bread.
Oh, I Am Bread.
That's hilarious.
I played Goat Simulator. Was not very good.
Simulator? Goat Simulator's fine.
They
Bear
made an
Simulator.
MMO out of it.
You see
Yeah, they
Bear
did.
Simulator?
There is a Goat Simulator MMO.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
and the latest one has a DLC.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
It's a space DLC. You even get a little spaceship.
Goats in
man.
space.
Yes.
I mentioned the Doom Demon dating simulator in chat. Somebody said Busty Cyber Demon. Oh my god! I like where you guys are going with this.
Wow.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, what
Other
other games
things.
have you played?
Okay, other things. I finally got some time to play the new Witcher 3 Wild Hunt DLC,
Yes.
Blood and Wine.
I've seen some of
fin-
this.
I
Looks
finally
really nice.
got some time to play Blood and Wine.
Vampires.
Finally. Yes. Now,
I play with Blood
this
and
is
Wine every
supposedly-
night.
I don't want to know. That sounds scary,
That could
dude.
be
That sounds
taken
scary
so
as
many
fuck.
ways.
We'll just leave it in the air. Just leave it in the air.
911, we possible serial
You don't have
killer
911.
here?
You're in Canada.
Shit, you're right.
It's
You
912.
don't get 911 because you have to speak it in French and they wouldn't let you. So.
You're actually right. I'm serious.
Oh. So, tell us about Blood and
Okay.
Wine. The Witcher 3.
With The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine. Okay, so this is supposedly the last bit of content. It's the last hurrah for the Witcher series in general. This is it. This is the grand finale. There's going to be no more Witcher games, supposedly, and this is the last add-on in addition to The Witcher 3. And I have to say, for the last, I guess, experience for The Witcher, it's pretty damn good. I don't know how CD Projekt Red, the developers, I don't know how they do this, but they are able to jam pack so much color into their games. I don't know how they code their graphics engine, and I don't know what they did specifically with the characters and the environment of Blood and Wine, but it's so colorful. It's like a rainbow come to life. It's like
Colors.
a living rainbow.
Pro tip. You can computer colors for free. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know, but just the way they program it, like the lighting and the textures,
I
they
think
make
what
their
you're
games
referring to,
so
I'm gonna
colorful.
help a little bit. What you're referring to is they have a very good art director.
Yes.
They have a very good art director on board. And I'm going to bring up something so people can see what you're talking about.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It just, The Witcher 3 is a good game. I still think it's overrated as hell, but it's a damn good game. Same thing with Overwatch.
I love that about you.
It's the same thing with Overwatch. Like, it's a great game, but it's overhyped. And the Overwatch is the Witcher 3 of 2016.
You
Because the Witcher
haven't-
3...
You haven't experienced Overwatch, so you played with the clan before.
You haven't experienced that ass.
No, you haven't
There's a lot of
experienced
ass in
Overwatch
Witcher.
since you've played with my clan before. Good God.
Okay, well, we'll make it a date. Let me
Oh,
know when you
God,
guys are
wow.
playing Overwatch. What? Change it for the love of God. Don't
Make it a date. I don't know about
Dan,
that,
you don't
man.
know what
I'm
you got into.
Mm.
There. It's Dexter time. All right.
Anyways,
When
As long as y'all
we're playing
record it, put it on
Overwatch, it's
YouTube.
live stream pretty much. So when you see me live streaming Overwatch, then we're playing Overwatch.
Yeah, you live stream on YouTube very often. I don't know that you do much on Twitch at all, but I've seen most of your live streaming, especially recently on YouTube. I know you have. I'm talking about Dan specifically here, but is that where you pretty much settled with YouTube live streaming, Dan?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I don't want to be, an ass about it, but if I can make some kind of money, then
Right.
No, Gamertron is on the same. He's on board with that as well. He's just had some problems with live streaming on YouTube, so.
I'm
But
not
I
going
put
to
an
say that
image
it's
there.
perfect in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I put up an image there on.
Kind of cutting out the middleman.
Plus, I also sometimes I have a lot more stream issues with XSplit through Twitch than I do on YouTube. But apparently tonight it looks like I'm having a lot of issues on YouTube as well.
Use XSplit.
Yeah.
You tried
That's
Game
part of
Show.
your like.
Who?
Game Show.
That's Game Show.
Oh, that's another service, I believe.
Yeah, it's a pay. It's like XSplit, but it's a little bit more expensive. But it's pretty good.
Well, I think
Not bad.
Dan, don't you get XSplit through your MCN?
Oh, okay.
Well, I have XSplit, and I have a 3-year license on it.
I thought
okay.
it was a perk through your MCN.
No,
I thought
well,
I saw
I mean,
like a
they
tweet
have
one day.
through the MCN. They have like you could do like a review, and you'll get like a month's subscription for free, whatever.
I see.
And then you could do another review, and then get another potential month subscription. I'm like, yeah, that's just bullshit. I'll just use the discount that I had at the time to buy a 3-year license, which costs me the same as what it would cost most people for like a 1-year license.
Yeah.
I have that
Alrighty.
link I usually have that link in like all my videos, and it'll get people like a 20% discount. And a couple people like Watusi went ahead and bought it too, because why not? You can get like a 20-30% off. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And so people know what Tuesdays is kind of like part of your clan or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Night Owl's gaming community.
Yeah. But then you got
Who
like
is your MCN?
Freedom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I put up there Witcher 3 there, Gamertron, if you want to keep going on about that.
No problem. I'm fascinated to hear about this Dan's inner workings here. This is fascinating.
Well,
sorry,
what kind
Witcher.
of questions do you want to ask? No, I'm not in the porn industry anymore. I retired.
Forget about it, Witcher 3. Okay, so with Blood and Wine, with this final content, not only have these beautiful environments, so much color. I can't emphasize the color enough. Like
I
you
think
said,
that's
the art
a very
design,
good image for that. Yeah.
just the art design. Damn, it's just so good. It's so colorful. What I really like about Blood and Wine, it adds a slew of brand new creatures and enemies.
Right. That's what I've seen. Yeah.
There is an emphasis on vampires, like what Count said earlier, but there's also an emphasis on a bunch of unique creatures, a lot of bugs, a lot of insectoid creatures, and there's this one unique boss that's kind of like an armadillo lizard, a rock armadillo lizard. You fight it in this arena. It's a really good boss fight. A really good boss fight. A lot of tactics and strategy to it. The Witcher 3's done. The one thing The Witcher 3 has mastered is its creatures.
Yeah.
Creatures are fantastic.
I've got an image here of that enemy you're talking about, and it kind of looks like a tick.
Yeah, I get where you're. Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
It's a really good boss fight. The creatures in this DLC, like I said, they're wonderfully animated. They're wonderfully unique, and they require new tactics from it. While you still get your same basic magic spells and weapons and dodge rolls and whatnot, but the thing with every enemy in the game is that you have to use different magic spells, and you have to use different weapons, and you have to dodge at certain times for different attacks. And these enemies provide new combat situations, very different combat situations than what I'm used to in the base game. And also, there's a lot more vampires. While there certainly were vampires in the base game of The Witcher, there was a really excellent quest where you had to hunt down this vampire that was murdering people for religious purposes, which was very interesting. But in Blood and Wine, there are way more vampires. There are a lot. One of the big main overall quests revolves around vampires. There's this new villain character introduced who is a vampire, and
User
like usual.
disconnected from your channel.
Like usual, the storytelling's good. The Witcher 3 has had good, solid storytelling and voice acting. There's some interesting new characters. There are quite a few interesting new characters, including a new sorceress that you get to romance, and has one of the most bizarre sex scenes in the game, might I add. Very, very interesting how they want to send that off. But overall, to wrap this up, The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, it's a really good expansion. It's a really good expansion, and it is a really good send-off to the Witcher series. Again, beautiful visuals, beautiful new location, wonderful new enemies, an interesting new plot, and vampires, actual badass vampires, not your Twilight, sparkly skin, man-child vampires, like actual fucking brutal, tear your throat out vampires.
Sparkly.
Yeah, something I saw about this DLC that was in a couple of different articles and reflected in a couple of different places online was the fact that people were kind of saying Who's the developer again? I can't remember the name.
DD Project Red.
Yeah, that's right. CD Projekt Red.
You can just call them Red for short.
They put out games as DLC rather than DLC. Like basically, they put out so much content within that DLC. It's basically the next version of that game. You know,
pretty much.
It's so packed. Like you really get what's your money's worth with them. So, and I think people mentioned that when this game came out as well, that it was just so well done, so damn well done. For the budget that it was on. That this is how developers should do things, that kind of thing. So yeah,
well,
I think that if anybody gives them shit,
I get where people come from when they say like, oh, like Witcher 3 is how you should do video games. But guys, you got to keep in mind, like Witcher 3 didn't have the same budget as all these other games, and the reason Witcher 3 has such a sprawling open world and is so
they
dynamic.
Have some geniuses apparently.
Yeah, they have some geniuses, absolutely. But what so many people fail to mention, and as someone who's played The Witcher 3, no one talks about this, they reuse a lot of stuff. They reuse a lot of assets.
Yeah.
That's how they're able to make these big open worlds and have these dynamic quests, because they reuse a lot of stuff, but they add new voice acting. Like the voice, like they have so much voice acting in this game, and I think that's where most of their money went to.
That's why they don't bring it up.
But with all these why does this game have so much DLC? It's because they're not reusing assets in these other games. They're building things from scratch, and that costs money.
They're not maximizing the usage of their resources.
Yeah, there you go. This game, like, I appreciate everything The Witcher 3 does. I don't think it's the masterpiece everybody says it is, but it's a damn good game. It's a damn good open world game. It's a damn good RPG, and Blood and Wine is an excellent addition. Cool.
So they're definitely a company that you'd back.
Oh yeah, I definitely back.
Whatever their next venture would be, which I'm not even sure.
Their next venture is Cyberpunk 2077, which we know nothing about so far.
I do. That has words in it that I'm going to play it. I'm now going to play it.
I knew that was cool.
Shadowrun, because I'm a Shadowrun nerd. I love that stuff. So, wow, Cyberpunk 2020. Okay,
I can tell you a bit about it. I mean, I have access from my
do it outside
from my PR firm.
Nice.
Oh, I'd have to save that for a different thing because I have to actually go and grab all the assets and information. I just haven't talked about it.
Do you have anything little that you can contribute right now about
little? I can contribute a lot of little things.
Okay.
But not specifically what you're talking about.
Okay. God damn it. All right. Well, I just wanted to do anything about it. But,
I don't play The Witcher, honestly. I just
No, the Cyberpunk thing.
I have to go look it up.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Just checking.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep, that's their new upcoming game. And that has people hyped because there's no release date, and the developers have said the game will be released when it's done. Those are their exact words. They're not going to. They're going to release the game when it's done. Those are their words. I don't know how CD Projekt Red is able to do what they do because other AAA developers have come and said, we don't know how CD Projekt Red does what they do. We don't know how they don't have microtransactions in their game when we need to put microtransactions to make our money back. Like they have magic. They must have a magic genie or something that gives them the money, resources, and time to pull off what they pull off. It certainly is impressive.
It's just good project management is what it is.
Probably, yeah. I agree.
We're seeing the end of some franchises, though. The end of Witcher, the end of Uncharted.
And possibly the end of Call of Duty if everything goes well.
Yeah, oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Nice. Anything? You got anything else on the docket there for yourself?
I could go the entire podcast. Do you want me to keep going? I could talk about one or two more things, but I want to give our
more
guest.
Things.
Okay. Boy, does he ever shut up? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I get that a lot. Well, actually, Dan, this is perfect. You and I can talk about this. You have Overwatch, right?
I may. Yeah.
What do you mean you may? Do you not have Overwatch?
He's being aloof.
You may have seen it a couple times on my live streams already, just saying.
Well, let's talk about Overwatch a bit before I get to kind of an indie game I think you guys may be interested in hearing about. But first, Overwatch. So, Overwatch, it's still competing with League of Legends, CS:GO, and Hearthstone on Twitch, which is fucking incredible.
It's in the top 10. Usually.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna check games.
It's even
right
in the
now.
top 5.
It's top 2.
But it's usually
it's number 2.
It's not always there. I was looking quite a lot.
Okay, it's not always there, but
it's in the top 10.
Yes.
It's usually not even 1 or 2, but it's usually in the top 5, that's for sure.
And that is impressive.
Yeah,
is
it's going to stay around. People like it. It's a new TF2. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So
really
I wouldn't consider it to
added.
be a true TF2, though. I mean,
No, of course not, because it can't be. If it was, then it would be the same old shit. They
it
did
wasn't.
a good thing
It wasn't
with
originally
updating it.
supposed to be the way it is.
Yes,
It was supposed
of
to be a
course.
full-fledged MMO like World of Warcraft, but then that got dumped and it became what it is now after they scrubbed the whole thing and started from scratch.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Mm-hmm. So Dan, let's hear it now. What are your thoughts on Overwatch, and what are some of your favorite characters?
Well, I've played Soldier 76 the most, usually because if I get into a random group, if I'm not with the guys and I get into a random group, then, you know, you get into the position where you got people that are just playing particular frames or characters because that's all they know how to play, and the whole team is just losing. You know, kind of like the other day when we had like 4 people playing Tracer, and I'm like, I don't need 4 Tracers on the team. So I just went
I
ahead.
saw something on Twitter about that.
I went ahead and I grabbed Soldier 76 and I just went and just ripped apart the rest of the other team we were playing against, and then of course I got the play of the game because I killed 15 people in one shot, and everybody was all mad. I'm like, we didn't need 4 Tracers.
There was something I saw on Twitter about that. It was like, oh, the team already has 2 Widowmakers. I think they could use a 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, you see that. Like, we did in one of the live streams, we were just joking. We all went in as Bastion, all 6 of us. Just for the fucking hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go well.
A lot of people playing that game are doing that, though. They're doing it for just the hell of it. Even Angry Joe was like, "Oh, it's so much fun to everyone go in as the same." When he reviewed the game, go in as the same character,
Well, you have to. I mean, it depends upon what your purpose is of going in there. There are times we're trying to actually go in there and actually achieve like winning and having a positive game, and then there's times we're just going in there to have fun and troll the shit out of the other team, and that point.
And there's
is there
a lot
too.
of I've heard a lot of like people talking like, well, when people don't play the game right, blah 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 blah. So there's already a lot of, because they're trying to make it a competitive game because it's supposed to be a competitive game. You get all the tryhards as well that are just gonna bitch about it not, whether or not you're playing the game right.
Every single match you have to take
I never
it
play the
seriously.
game right. I never play the fucking game right. I just don't.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, once you reach level 25, it's what they're considering for their rank matches. Of course, they don't have the rank system in there right now. They took that out. So they could rework it.
They need to put that in as soon as possible. I really think there needs to be a ranked, unranked, there needs to be a casual and competitive game mode, because right now it's a mix of the two, and it's showing. Like, teams that are playing competitively are always winning. Teams that are playing casually are always losing. Like,
that's not necessarily true. It's not true at all. I mean,
really?
Our guys have kicked asses of high-level players as a team. Just for having
Dan,
fun.
The level thing doesn't matter. The level thing only shows how long you've been playing the game. That doesn't show skill level.
The fuck you say? What are you talking about? No. That's not how that works. Level is all about skill, don't you know?
Everybody levels. The longer you play the game, you level. There's no skill involved in leveling up.
No.
Yeah, but
no.
extended poor
It's
matchmaking
all
can
about
wreck a
skill.
game, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
True.
and we've had those. I mean, the last live stream, I dumped it from YouTube because it got bad. It got bad to the point all of us were just so pissed off. We were just cursing and screaming and yelling because we had some... It was just... I don't even know how to say it. I mean, we were just fucking done with it. mean, we had
I
some
think it
really
depends on the
shitty teams
objective,
on the other
that's for
side
sure.
that were just doing things. There's things like I love the game, and it's interesting because it's not something that I'm going to typically play, and the fact that I am typically playing it and I'm actually enjoying it, and maybe it's just because it's simple to the respect that I can go in, choose a hero, play, enjoy myself, and don't have to overthink about, do I have the right weapon? Do I have the right gear? Am I this? Am I
Right.
that? You know, it's all set in stone. Here's your character. Here's what they've got. Here's what their weapon is. Here's what their special ability is. Play it or don't play it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's not when you're comparing it to, like, well, everybody's compared it to Battleborn, right? So it's not Battleborn. Battleborn has so many extra levels on top of it that it's too much. I think 2K went a little overboard, in my personal opinion, with it. It's not a hero shooter directly because there's like RPG elements and everything else on top of it that at times you could feel so overwhelmed with everything that it's not fun. Where Overwatch, I can just go in, hit the character, and go have fun. If I want to learn a character, I go to the AI side. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go just beat up on PvP, I go to PvP. And sometimes I'm going to have a good team. Sometimes I'm not going to have a good team. I'm always swapping teams anyway when I'm by myself, just because it's better that way. You get to meet different people. You get to learn.
People. Ugh.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to meet people and talk to people.
You can. I just hate it.
Oh my God.
He's
I play
lying.
video games to stay away from people.
No,
God, I'm
that's
doing it
not
wrong
true,
again.
Janzer. You're a lovable puppy
Oh,
dog.
God.
and
Don't
you
spread the
seek
wrong
attention.
ideas. You see what happens
love
is
other
then these people come and join me in a game, and they see how mean I am in game, and they're like, oh,
You're
God,
not
I
mean.
ruined their idea
You're
of
not
what it was
mean.
to
You're not
play
mean.
with.
You
They're
put
like,
on the
I
illusion.
thought this was
Yeah.
a nice guy. I don't ever want to play games again.
They don't call me
No,
a dog
but
for
I'm
no
a
reason. You know what I'm
grouchy.
saying? I'm just saying I didn't get the name dog for no reason. I'm just saying.
Hey, you got to do
Oh,
your
man.
intro. I like your intro. Do your intro.
What an
I don't mean
intro.
to put you on the spot. You know what I'm talking about. When you talk really fast.
Oh, yeah.
I love
I know
that.
what
I
he's
love
talking
that.
about.
I don't do it on purpose. That's just how I do my intro. I don't know.
but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I like it.
Yeah, one time I recorded like yours and Psycho's, I think, because I was going to do some stuff with either one of y'all. And I was like, I should do that if I do a cross promotional thing. So it's, I can't even remember. It's, yeah.
Yeah, some people have actually said something like, "Man, you got to slow down. You're speaking too fast."
I like that. I like your intro though. I think it's pretty.
It's kind of like the people that always comment on how I don't say things the way that they want me to say it because.
Pronunciation of certain words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or names.
yes.
Names
I
of
got
things.
that. I already got it the other day. And this is the funniest thing because you guys know I have my Salt series, which I only made it through 3 episodes before people stopped leaving nasty comments on my channel.
Great. I love
but
it. I love that series.
I had another guy that was heading towards it, and I pretty much I told him straight up he might want to stop now. It's a smart thing. And he turned around and said to me that if you're going to get mad at me because I corrected you, then you should just go ahead and block me. I said that can be done. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Easy.
You don't
Yeah.
come to my
Problem
channel
solved.
and because I how do I say it? I say Mesa. That's how I say the Warframe. That's how I'm
Mesa.
always going to say it. Okay?
Mesa. Who cares?
I don't give a
Exactly. And he
Yeah,
put it in
yeah.
big bold
Really?
letters the other way around.
You
I'm
know.
like, fuck you. I don't
Yeah,
give a
Michael
fuck,
Fassbender, Michael Facebender. Who cares? Fuck.
Well, I'm sure the guy cares because that's a real person, not a fictional
Well,
character.
And he
Anal
listens
retentive
every
fucking.
night, Gamertron.
I remember
Oh,
when
man.
I used to call the one weapon the Acrid all the time. Acrid? No,
Is
I
it
used to
not
call
the
it.
Acrid?
I used to
It
call
is
it.
the acrid.
It's Acrid, but I used to call it Acrid because you could actually say it.
Because it's acid. You're actually
It
throwing
is.
poison. Yeah.
If you read it up in the dictionary, it's
I just
acid
hear the
and
word
something.
ass.
And,
I'm
and
sorry.
it
I just call it an acid launcher. That's what I call
because
There you
because
go.
it is. And so what? I
Yeah.
said it wrong. Who gives a shit? I don't
Yeah.
care.
it. Like I
At
call
least
the
you're getting
flamethrower.
the
I don't
name
call it
right.
the ogress or whatever the fuck. I call it the goddamn flamethrower. Really?
At
You
least
guys
get the
got it
name right.
easy. All of you have it easy. Every single goddamn day, someone complains that I can't pronounce TH. I just
Wow.
can't. It
Your-
sounds
your-
like F.
Your
Every time
TH
I-
is F. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Every-
what? Deal with it. I mean, hey, I got
I
a speech
know.
problem.
This is why
There's a
I
lot of
brought
things I
up
can't say properly
Count.
when I speak because I have a speech issue too. But I have to
This is
fucking deal
why-
with
That's
it.
what makes people individuals.
This is why I brought up during that one podcast about how Winston Churchill doesn't fucking say his words very well, but he led a goddamn country through
He's
through
a-
war.
I
He was
love
a-
Winston Churchill, man. Don't
Exactly.
get me started on
Listen
Winston
to him
Churchill.
speak.
I love
he is
the
not
guy,
great.
man.
You know who had great elocution? Hitler.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, he couldn't fucking command an army to save his fucking life. But I mean,
I just had to drop that.
who is he to
Well-
question Rommel? Rommel's a fucking genius. Anyway,
it's
don't
true.
get me started, man.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. I
Anyways,
mean, I get it all the time. I know you get it. I mean, it is what it is. But the difference is, like me and you and whatever. I face it. Okay, I've got a speech issue. It comes out
That
sometimes.
sounds fine to me.
Sometimes
Yeah, no,
it
that's
comes
the
out.
I don't
nitpickers,
understand.
Sometimes
this.
it doesn't
You
come out.
can't.
I've lived with it for 41 years. You think
Dude,
that
I
one or
think
two
a lot of
people that
that's in your
comment
head.
are going to be are going to bother me? It doesn't bother me. I mean, two of my kids have had to go to speech therapy themselves because they just like to slur words and they're a little bit too fast at how they speak sometimes. And yeah, I mean, whatever. We can't all be perfect. I'm sorry. I wasn't born a god.
Hmm.
I was
All right,
just
well.
born a
don't
human.
I don't hear any problem with your speech. Yeah, I
Not
mean,
today.
you can notice when Gamertron says that, the THF, but it's not a big deal. It's what makes him him. You know what I mean?
The fact
That
that
he's
the fact that he's got the
Overly
balls,
fucking enthusiastic about shit. But
the fact that
anyway,
he's got the balls to speak and not worry about it.
there you go.
is-
Fuck people, man. You only live once. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
You know,
You
instead of
can't waste energy worrying about what people think about you.
instead of
You
telling
really can't.
instead of telling all your subscribers that you can't speak, but in reality you actually can. You just
Yeah.
choosing not to.
You know, it's
Oh.
anything that you waste time worrying about stuff like that is just wasted energy.
Like Janzer.
You know what I mean?
What was
Oh.
the game we were talking
But
about?
there's no hope for
Overwatch. We were
Janzer.
talking about
Janzer's-
Overwatch.
Anyway, let's.
I don't have there are specific there are specific letters that I struggle with, but that's the whole thing. I really do, and if you don't hear it, I'm fucking glad. But that's the whole thing. I struggle with them. There are other words, other parts of words, other letter combinations that I overplay because I find it funny. You know, I stress them that way because I want it. It's for effect. You know, like fuck.
Well,
But that's good.
Uh,
I mean,
Yeah, it's for effect. So people don't always know. They think, you know, it's especially, I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
Moving on.
Exactly. Fuck it.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Don't
Yeah.
waste an ounce of energy worrying about.
If you're a YouTuber or a content creator,
yeah.
a Twitch streamer, any of that, yeah, let those 1 or 2 comments that come in, you know, a month, let them fucking go find another channel.
Yeah, let's hear let's see their video with their perfect
There's literally
elocution. You know what I
literally
mean?
a channel out there for everyone. There's
All right,
literally,
okay.
I learned
Gentlemen,
that.
gentlemen. Okay,
I've
we need
got
to-
something
okay.
for
I need
you.
you all to take this rope. I'm going to tie it around us, tie
No.
it to this grappling hook. I'm going to throw this grappling hook over here, and I'm going to pull us back to Overwatch, where we originally were.
Thank
Whoa.
you.
Look,
That's what I
Batman.
was trying to
Here's-
do. Don't try to steal my thunder, man. I
Here's
was
a
saying
question
back
for
to
you.
Overwatch.
Here's a question.
I'm Zeus. I'm 4. I took your thunder long ago.
Do it then.
I have a question. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody makes content, correct? Now, what do you guys get comments? Let's say when you make a couple of videos that have no commentary, do people bash you for the fact that suddenly you have no commentary?
I don't
Yeah.
really do that.
Yeah.
There are times that I make videos that are just plain old video. One, maybe I'm sick that day. Maybe I don't feel well enough to talk. I don't have a voice, or I'm just not plain in the mood to speak. But I'm still creating something, and there's still value in what I'm doing because at some point somebody's been like, "Dude, you can actually play that. You can do this, or you can do that." But I get
Mhm.
harped on when I make those videos from time
Yeah,
to
I
time,
don't
and I'm
know,
like, it's
man.
like,
And you know what? Go tell them to fuck themselves. Who cares,
Pretty much.
man?
I remember when you asked for feedback, Dan, one time, some video recently, I said, I like when you give your viewpoint because that's the type of person I am. I like to hear
Right.
what people think. But I didn't say, oh, those things where you do stuff is shit. You know, nothing like that. So, yeah, no, that's, I think I rarely ever put anything out with no commentary. Usually it's like my mastery stuff for Warframe where there's nothing that I'm saying. I'm just playing the game.
Yeah,
So.
well,
The
sometimes
commentary is not easy.
commentary is not easy. I mean, if you look
yeah.
back at your past where you
People
started,
think it's just
Scrubs.
yeah.
Mr. Gamertron and I were doing R6 Siege the other day, and I said, hey, do you want to do this video? He's like, I'm not really good doing FPSs and talking at the same time. And I was like, no, don't worry. I'll do the recording, and I kind of talked my way through it or whatever because I'm so used to that. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and that's just what it is, you know?
well, you'll see that
So-
from us. You'll see that from us, like when I'm with the guys in the clan and we're doing, let's say we're playing Overwatch, or we're playing, we'll say Rainbow Six, or we're playing something. There are points where there's absolutely nobody talking. It's just us playing the game because we're so involved in the
Yeah.
game, and partially because we've been around with each other for 4 or 5 years, right? So everybody knows how everybody's going to do something. So we don't necessarily have to like speak up and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm going to do that," because it's just a unknown. So I would say there are times where our videos can get boring, and of course, then there's those times when guys just drop in and talk about the beaver dens and shit like that.
Oh, good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. You guys really need to watch those vids.
When we do
I try
those,
to when I can.
when I post up a video and it's an evening with the Nog Army, no matter what game it is, something funny happened in that video.
Mhm.
We used to do the same. We used to do the same thing with DC Universe. I'd call it late night league runs, and I'd just record the voice chat,
Yes.
and we'd play. And man, we never talked about the game. Like we'd talk about the game for like 2
course.
minutes, and then we're talking about like people on, the rest is about pornos and shit, or whatever. So,
But
you know
that's
what?
the reality.
I got more thumbs up out of those videos than anything.
Oh,
that's the
man.
reality because that's what people are there to hear. They're like, okay, I'm not just here for a game. I'm here to listen to these guys have fun because
Yeah.
they're having fun. I can go have fun. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch that stuff, or I'll put that stuff on while I'm doing code work because the code work is involving, but it doesn't engage anything in my brain that's like having fun all the time.
Right.
You know, some of it's just pretty dry. You know, I already know what I need to do. I'm just executing at that point. So I'm like, I want to hear some like chatter in the background, and that's why I like the Nog stuff, the Nog community, the Night with Nog, because it's people bullshitting about a game, and it's just a fun community to listen to. So,
It's very good at relieving stress, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Well, most of the time, Dan, actually, you're usually quiet in those, and you're just going, wow.
Well,
Because
I mean,
people are talking some mad shit, or you're making a joke that nobody caught. That happens more than enough times because they don't hear you or something. You know, it's pretty good stuff.
yeah, but we're just all having fun with it. I mean, a lot of things though. When I'm doing those, it's me being able to sit back and relax and let the guys go out and have fun and enjoy themselves. They know I'm recording, or they know they're being recorded, but they don't care. And even with that respect, when we're talking about it, it's hard to do commentary, and especially when you're starting out in YouTube. I mean, the majority of people that start out YouTube did not start with commentary. They just started with basic stuff, and it takes forever to teach yourself how to speak to yourself to the point where you think you have an
Not
audience,
a supernatural thing,
right? Or where you're trying to assume this is what your audience is going to respond to, so I'm going to speak about it in that respect. Do you know what it was like to get the guys to get to that point as well? And they're not even the guys recording.
Right.
Yeah, no, I do, because I have buddies that don't want to be on when I'm recording. And I understand that. They're not used to it. I'm very used to it, but it's not a normal thing to be entertaining. That's the other thing. They feel a lot of pressure from that. And I'm like, you don't have to. Just be yourself. Trust me.
I have
people
friends
will
that,
like this.
I have friends that just chat it up, and as soon as I tell them I'm live streaming,
They shut up.
they clam up like a fucking oh yeah.
What are people going to think about what I say? Who gives a fuck? This video is going to get a few views and on to the next one. Yeah.
And the guys have gotten over that. They don't care anymore. You know.
Oh, dude,
and the thing is, like,
over it.
when oh yeah, right. You can tell.
The show.
And I let them just have fun with it. Go
That's
with
why
it.
it's
I
a
mean,
night with Nog. Yeah.
You only live once to make an ass out of yourself.
You know, just let them go with it. I mean, it's not always about my opinion. Let everybody else have their own fun and opinion about it. And
Lax is
triggered.
Pretty hilarious. He's
Lax can get everybody going. Yeah, things can get pretty hairy. If Kypex is in a bad mood, things get real hairy.
Yeah, he drops by every once in a while. Yeah.
Well, of course, he's in the UK, and like it's 10:30 for me right now, so it's already 2:30 in the morning for him. Or 2:30.
Right.
And he's my buddy, man. I've known him for a little over 5 years. He helped me start.
I got the name mixed up. I'm sorry. I got the name mixed up. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Kypex, he started the community. It was me and him that started the Night Owls community, and we branched off from another community we were in. There was a lot of problems in that community, and that was back in the Need for Speed World days. And I can't begin to tell you the stuff that I deal with now in Warframe is nothing compared to what people tried to do to me in that game. The difference was I fought back on that one, and I got the developers on my side when people they started some really bad rumors. We won't get into that. But we started this thing up, and it's insane. Like, it'll be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for me. It's already 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for him, and he's still up playing a freaking game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I played with him one time with Neo, in fact.
Uh-huh.
We were in your TeamSpeak, Dan. This was a while back. Way, way, way back. Yeah.
But he works, he does like shift work, and so he's on for, 2 or 3 or 4, sometimes weeks on, like non-stop overnight or during the day or whatever, and then he's off for 2 weeks. When he's off, he's going at it. That's why you don't see him all the time, but when you do see him, it's like, dude, he tells me, he goes, man, hit the record button. Just hit the record button. Let's just go.
Nice.
And everybody tells
Doom. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy it, and everybody tells, like, when there's new people that join the community,
map stuff
that I am not, like, I don't know, like, when new people join all the time. Sometimes I do, but when they bring new people onto TeamSpeak, the first thing everybody says is, listen, when Dan gets on, understand that he's probably going to be recording. If at any point you see Dan on TeamSpeak, he has probably already hit the record button, because you just never know. You just never know. Like those evenings with Hogheads. Nah, I don't use a webcam. People don't need to see me. I think it's overrated that you need to see me just to get what I'm saying to you.
Oh no, I get you on that.
Absolutely.
I was just curious.
Plus, my webcam is broken, so that there's that too.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, you're listening to my opinion. It's just like every other YouTuber out there. You're listening to our opinions and our thoughts on things. And
no,
voiceover
Dan,
commentary.
People need to stare deeply into your eyes.
Yeah, they won't get very far.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool though if you had like a tight knit community of gamers, so like a little team that you could have like a Skype chat and have like everyone's little webcam around the corners while you're playing the game. To me, so you can get some of the facial reactions, the laughter and stuff.
Count, we have gotten a request from I think his name's Pranash or something. I have to go back and look. But he follows our stuff on YouTube quite a lot, and he leaves a lot of comments, which I really do appreciate. It's the B3 GameCast specifically that he comments on, and he has asked, hey, have you guys considered doing, cams?
Maybe in the future. Maybe.
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah. It just depends. Right
I'm
now,
down with it. I webcam. Yeah. I don't have any problem.
I've done it a couple times, but that was before mine broke. So.
Yeah, it's Prashana SS. I just want to give him a little shout out for all the support he's been giving us.
So sometimes I have to watch my webcam because my wife parades around in a towel.
See, now you're just asking for people.
Oh,
we're gonna be like, hey,
we don't. Hold on. We don't need to see you on the webcam then.
Yeah.
You need to face that webcam in a different direction. I'm just saying.
Everyone's like, hold on. When do you stream again?
You mean they're not there to watch my 47-year-old ugly ass?
Oh,
Oh man.
Oh, wow. Okay, I thought you were crying.
Oh man.
I'm good.
Webcam.
I'm
See,
over it.
I feel weird when I'm on webcam. I guess it's kind of like when I started doing commentary. It took me a while to get used to commentary. I just feel weird when I'm on webcam. Like,
Are you kind of an introverted person, or are you kind of out, or does it come and go, or
it
you know
comes
what I mean?
it comes and goes. Yeah,
Comes and goes. I'm the same way.
I
There's
wouldn't
weeks
mind.
where I don't feel like talking to anybody. Yeah.
Oh no, that's
Which is
true.
when
That's
you
why I
don't
just don't
get
stream.
You don't get a commentated video from me when I'm not in the
There you
mood
go.
to speak.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I still want to put something out because people. The other thing is, like, people are like, wow, he hasn't put anything out in a few days. Is he still alive?
It's
Holy
true.
crap. And I'll start
Yeah.
getting private messages from people like, are you okay? I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen anything from you in a couple days. Are you still around? Everything all right? It's a concern. And it's cool to have people that are concerned for you like that, But that's why I put something out. It's like, I don't really want to talk. I'm not in that mood to be that kind of social, but I still want to let you know that I'm alive.
Yeah. All right. So, can we get on to another game, please? I want to talk some more games here.
You want to
I've
talk
got
about
stuff.
American Truck Simulator? No.
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
not necessarily. I just that's the only.
There's two of you that play it. Count whatever happened to that next video about the hookers.
Okay. I gotta ask this. You both play American Truck Simulator. As someone who doesn't like those type of games, please enlighten me. Why do you enjoy those types of games? Please let me know.
I can tell you. I don't play it, and I could tell you, but I'm gonna let them.
I'll put it to you this way. I started with the Euro Truck, a couple years ago. I didn't think I'd like it. I bought it when it was like $4.99. I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it $4.99, right? You know. And when I started playing it, I'm like, dude, this is like very, very addictive, and I don't know why. But I think that the thing is,
it's a good game.
The team at SCS, they put blood and sweat into that game, into both ETS and the ATS game, and you could tell that blood and sweat is there. And they put more into those games as a small team than you will ever find in most AAA games.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the experience that you had with Nagapara. It's very it's a niche game market, but they actually put a lot of quality into the build itself. That's why it's got the supporters that it has. For me, when I watch that stuff, it's very kind of zen-like. I can imagine playing it and just. Then again, when I was a kid, we drove cross country quite a lot. So driving for me is one of those, it's a very natural thing. Like I don't get sleepy driving like a lot of people do. I can just, I probably could have been a trucker, But so when I watch that stuff.
What would be your handle?
Probably Janzer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's the origin of Janzer?
I brought it up before. It's come up from, first off, I have Janzer 247 on the channel. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's wasting time.
Sorry.
But the 247 was actually just 3-digit number from a pin that I used to use for an employee number. It was out of a 6. It's not.
I thought it was 24/7.
No, people pick it up and I'm like, that's cool, whatever. I mean, I'm so 24/7. I'm massively inconsistent with my content. Look how 24/7 I am. But the Janzer actually came from 2 different names. It came from JANOS. Because somebody mispronounced my name, and I'm never going to release that. Some people know it, but so it came from JANOS, which is Janos, and then the other name was Zero. I used to go by the handle Janos Zero. That was one of the handles.
Okay, I got it.
So I just I was like, this is ridiculous. When you play an MMO, I hated names that were big and stupid because when you had to type, you had to chat people. It's like, I got to chat all their stupid characters and spaces and fucking underscores and stupid asshole. Just make a short, quick handle. That's where Janzer came from. Because I was like, no. But like in Counter-Strike, I used to go by 8088. And if you know what 8088 stands for, you are a hardcore computer motherfucker. I have an idea who might know. But probably very few people would know. I used to go by that because it was like the slow processor, actually.
Right.
It was a processor in the computers before Pentiums were a thing. And so I used the handle 8088 because I was so good with pistols. I was just trying to offset, this guy's probably an idiot or whatever, I went by like Robeast. I've gone by a bunch of different things like that. Robeast. Voltron. That's right, man. So I've actually had quite a few handles, but when I wanted to settle on something, I was like, And then back in the day when I played MMOs, I would also pull from like obscure names of like the Silmarillion from Tolkien because I'm a fucking nerd, you know. So
Yeah.
I pulled from whatever, but I settled on this because it's short and sweet, you know. A lot of people ask me, they're like, "Is that Dutch?" And I was like, "If you want it to be, man, well, I don't know."
Hey,
Anyways,
I've always gone very unique with my username, and most people always have a hard time finding me. As a result, I'm just saying.
yeah,
Well, DogMan Dan could be a trucker name. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that would be a
absolutely.
perfect trucker handle. Hey, DogMan Dan here.
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
You know, it extends from well before I ever played anything on YouTube or ever did anything on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, like when people ask me all the time, "What's your username?" and I say, you know, it's amazing when I tell you this, but it's actually the same name that I'm using all the time. I mean, it's not very much, you know, not some weird, crazy, ununique type of thing because it's just easier. I mean, I'm amazed when
Yeah.
I go to get into, even when I go to get in like to a new game, never played before. The minute I like post on the forums and I'm under my Dogman Dan or something very similar to it, sometimes you got to put numbers to it or whatever. It's like, hey, you're that YouTuber. Yeah, man, I like this or I love watching this from you. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? What? Huh? You know, it's crazy to see that people actually
Yeah.
recognize you.
That's why I use the
It
same
is.
handle everywhere because I don't want there to be any confusion.
Now,
How'd you
mind
come
you,
up with Gamertron? I want to know Gamertron since we're
Oh,
on the subject.
my username? Oh, jeez. Well, first off, I want to get this out of the way. You guys have no idea how much I get accused of. You're ripping off JonTron's name. You're ripping off
JonTron.
JonTron.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay. I
Can't
want
you
to
be
make one
unique?
thing. I want one thing to be perfectly clear. I didn't even know JonTron existed.
You're nothing like JonTron. He does like Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead.
The thing, the thing about mine, I didn't even know JonTron existed when I made my username. I found out like weeks afterwards that this is a dude. This is a dude. Oh, we have kind of similar names. Okay, but I got Gamertron from Megatron, my favorite Transformer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
cool.
oh, let's take away the Mega and put in Gamertron. I love Megatron. Let's put in Gamer in there. Gamertron. Like,
Frank
a lot of
Weller.
people thought it was from the
Yeah.
Tron movie. I didn't even think of that. That also didn't come to mind. Honestly, it was just Megatron.
I don't think I've
Megatron.
ever
That's-
heard you say, but then again, I never ask how anybody ever. I ask very few questions about people. All right.
All right.
Video
So,
games.
yes.
so we were on ATS, and you
Sure.
know, it's kind of weird because haven't you always wanted to be a trucker? I mean, ever thought of wanting to actually drive a truck?
I actually did consider taking that as something to do because you can get pretty good money from it, and I didn't mind the long distance driving, and my family is what it is. Like, you know, I wouldn't have been missed. I mean, you know,
No, we got a guy.
You would have
We
been
got a guy.
missed. You would have been missed. I
No,
promise.
not every family. They don't show love the same way. You don't understand. So it's not the same thing. I would have been sure, but
No,
it would have
I
been
would have missed
understood.
you.
It would have. You wouldn't have known me, man.
We got a guy in our community
Spirit.
that I've known him for almost 5 years. He's been in our community as well, and he was always having a lot of tough times with getting work and whatnot. And last year he went out. He actually came up here to Jacksonville, where I'm at, and took a truck driving school course up here and everything. He's out on his own now, and actually I got pictures of his new truck and his new company that he's at, and I was gonna make a model inside of ATS for
nice.
it to kind of, you know. But he's loving it. He's definitely loving it, and I'll tell you, I would do it if it wasn't the fact that I'm married. I have 3 kids. I need to be home. I need to be here, especially with my oldest one who is a teenager now and is very much trying to, you know, say and make a name for himself, if you will, or try to be very disobedient to my wife. You know, he's trying to be himself, and
Right.
it's my job to keep his ass in check. We'll just, you know, and I need to be here for that. I need to be a parent. You know, it is what it is. But if
You have my utmost respect, Dan. Utmost respect.
which, you know, I mean, you have to lay down the law at some point, right? You have to make compromises. But like, he loves it, and I'll tell you, playing ATS is great because there's so much involved in it, and especially if you have a steering wheel, and you know,
Do you have a steering wheel?
I got a broken steering wheel.
Wow, wow.
But
Make one
like,
out of boards.
I think what I really like about SCS, the thing that really gets me is that they are so involved with everybody and that they're so willing to have the game open to where we can actually mod it.
I love
And
the
it's
radio, the
great.
custom radios, and you can bring in your own channel.
Dan,
and
you
all that
gotta
stuff.
watch. You gotta watch counts. He did the most recent video you did for that count. It has CB radio channel going
Let
on.
me-
It is.
Let me
fucking
yeah,
explain the
yeah.
origin. Let me explain the
It
origin
is
real
fucking
quick of that video.
hilarious.
Okay,
Yes.
this is not my kind of game. I work. I work in Ohio. I work in Western Ohio. It's a bunch of hillbillies. I'm in redneck central. Okay, I live in rural Indiana. No problem with that. You know, I'm a hillbilly. From Massachusetts. But anyway, I work with a guy who bought that game, and he's
I'll
kind of a
find it.
redneck guy. And he goes, "Hey, let's do commentary together, and we'll act like a bunch of hillbillies truck driving." You know,
That's
we'll
great,
have,
man.
And then he ended up quitting the job, so I don't see him anymore. But I went ahead and purchased the game, and I went out and bought like a Coors Light hat and a beer hat, and I bought some Skull, you know, to dip and shit. You know, we were going to go full commentary, and he left me hanging on that. So I went ahead and made one video where I dressed up like a trucker. You know, I spent like $20, you know, at Goodwill and got some old flannel shirt, and you know, and I'm gonna make another one though.
That's the video. I'll put it in chat.
So, yeah, I mean, that's my little thing. I did it as a joke. I was gonna do it as a funny video, but then I'm thinking, man, the game is kind of cool. You know what I mean? This game is actually cool. I was thinking the game would be a joke, you know, truck simulator, but it's a good game.
It's crazy, and the next version of it is in beta testing right now, and
Arizona.
I can't wait for Arizona, but I can't wait
the Arizona
for the
Grand Canyon. Oh
I
man,
can't. You know, that part's going to be great. The scenery, the change, all that extra portion is going to be great. But what they're doing now with the trailer hookup, where you're actually going to back up like you would, and they've got new trailer cams and everything to back up and lock in a trailer like you actually really would, it's going to change the way that you actually drive.
That's kind of cool. Oh man, I drive terrible because I act like I'm drunk. I act like I've been drinking. You know, I dress up. But I've got another episode planned where I blame Obama for everything.
Well,
so
it's funny though because you know, and this is where it's interesting because the game is great, and I'll tell you, you see how many people play the thing on Steam. It's always like 10,000, 15,000 people at any given time playing this thing, you know, and people are loving what they're going to do with the trailers, and it's a first step into changes that they're making for more realism in the realistic game, which, mind you, you can play in any form of realism. You can play from keyboard of non-realism and having the game do most of everything for you,
right,
all the way up to full realism, you know, everything.
Like you can hire truckers, and then what?
Popping
you're not even playing, they're doing shit for you. They're
Yeah.
making money
At
for
the
your company.
truck stops.
You
picking
get
up
double, you know, you got guys
everything.
double clutching with their steering wheels and everything, and they're playing like you actually would play, you know, or drive a truck type of thing. And
If you watch my video, Dan, get a chance to watch my video, you'll see why I should never be a truck driver. Okay, I can't drive worth shit.
I dropped it in Twitch chat, but I know you're not there. It's also in the main channel chat on TeamSpeak.
I will look at it. I will look at it. Yeah, but
it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, it was amazing because they posted it and they're talking about what they're doing with the trailers, and it's a first step, right? Because now you're actually going to really be able to have a camera where you can actually back up into the load properly the way you're supposed to, you know, and it's going to be a challenge. But immediately,
You know
you see toxic people getting on there say, well, what the hell? Why don't you guys get the airlines set up as well so the airlines work in the game? Give them time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, here's the thing, Dan. I don't know if you've thought about this, but I'm very interested when the VR part comes of it, because I'm not sure how far along they are with that, but I know that's coming. The other thing is you have to tie it into real life and what's really going on with trucking right now. I'm sure you guys have seen this, right? Where they have the AI trucks that are running.
Yeah.
They've been running them. I want to see, because, okay, those AI things are out there, but you're still going to need people to regulate that shit. All they got to do is have people sitting at home and just fucking with their screens. And it's basically the transition from playing that game to playing the real life game and getting paid for regulating the truck. Like, when does it stop off for fuel and all that kind of stuff? I think that's a potential like that could actually happen, you know. It's
all
not
that
a
realism
direct
is in this
connection,
game
but pretty
too.
damn close.
All that realism is in this game too. I mean,
Yeah.
you
But-
can set up the fuel thing so it actually does the fuel. You can set up. You can either have on your sleep or you're not sleep, or you get tired or you don't get tired. You know, it depends upon your form of realism, if you will. And all that is incorporated in this. Driving the lows and making those 600 and 700-mile long journeys. While obviously in game it's a lot shorter than what it would normally be, but you get that feeling and people enjoy it. And it's another one of those you could sit back and relax and have fun. Like when I am stressed beyond belief, I'll open that up because I know that I can just grab a load, have some fun. Of course, sometimes the AI pisses me off and I just throw them off the side of the road. I've been known to hit the cops a few times. You know, we won't get into that.
Well, I look at it the same way that I look at Elite Dangerous. You're zooming through the universe, not a whole lot's going on, you know, and you're just looking at all these planets. It's just zoning out. It's getting taken into that other world, that other experience. It's what video games is to me, is to take me out of whatever bullshit that I was dealing with. You know, get me into this other universe right now. You know, that's usually what that is. So
And for me, ATS has become all about being able to mod. I mean, that DHL mod that I put together, which I'm still working on, I've got requests for some more specific trucks to be added into it and such, and I'm still working on the trailer to get the trailer correct where I can have it a separate trailer than overwriting a in-game trailer. But like that has been a huge support. Now I know the videos on my channel, you know, get like 80 views. Okay,
but dude,
but
people, for whatever
DHL
reason, the
one,
Doom stuff as well. I was like, what the fuck, man? This is Doom. Why are people?
It's not a big deal, but it's interesting because I've had somebody comment like, "Man, your stuff is shit. Nobody watches it," and I'm like, "Yeah, guess what, buddy? My DHL truck was #1 rated for a week on Steam and has over 3,000 people that use the mod on a daily
fucking
basis."
Sweet, dude.
Nice.
That shows people what the fuck they know.
Yeah, the thing is, it's
Nice,
not all about YouTube. I post in a million other
No
places.
shit.
Not
Yes.
every, you know, okay, I don't always make money on the video. Like when you post it on Raptor, right? When you put your videos and content on Raptor, that's all inside the Raptor app. Those
right.
ads don't go through YouTube. You don't get paid for that, but you get the exposure. And
Mhm.
the exposure leads to everything else. I mean, it's all about the exposure. Sure, I'm not getting as many views on YouTube for it than I, you know, but whatever. I mean, it's like I said, it's DHL one. Now everybody's waiting for me to update my UPS and FedEx ones to the same level that I did with the DHL, where I've got like 6 trucks in this, and I've got the most used modded trucks in there, and they're all waiting on those 2 mods that I already have on the workshop to be fully updated, but it takes time to do. I'm not as good as everybody else, and I don't have the best software. Like, I don't have full-on Adobe Photoshop. I've got the, you know, Elements software because that's all I can afford. And so it takes a little bit longer to do things, you know, but I'm proud of myself because I can do it and I've figured it out and I've learned how to do it and I'm keeping up with the other guys that are doing it. Maybe I'm not perfect, but, you know, I enjoy it and I get a lot of comments on it. I actually have right now I've got 3 people that have made requests for me to do different truck skins and such and add some other stuff to mods that I've already done. I'm like, okay. If you just give me some time, I'll do it, sure. And they're like, wow, you're the first person that's responded to me.
Right.
I'm like, I always
That's
respond.
one of those YouTube things. Yeah, that's one of those YouTube things. But no, and it should attract the people that actually give a fuck, and those few comments that are just like, blah, 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 you know, they're going to be like that no matter what you put or anyone puts up, not even you. Because some of those, you look at their chain of like what they've done, because you can still look at their Google events or whatever, and you could see video after video they've just gone and shit on whoever it was. It didn't matter. That's just the shitty type of person.
Okay, I gotta interrupt here. You guys gotta keep in mind, those people don't matter.
That's what I'm saying, Gamertron. You didn't need to interrupt. I was saying that right now.
Well,
I know
Jesus.
but you're putting too much effort. You're looking at their profile.
I'm saying
you're
that
looking at their profile to see what they've done beforehand.
Occasionally, yes, because you want to know, what is this, a troll person? This is how you identify trolls. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a troll person or not. It does not matter if it's a troll person or not. There are just some things
to this after the fact. that don't do YouTube.
He's on the
I
delay.
know. I'm sure.
This is
there
how we
isn't.
do this. This is how we do this as YouTubers, as content creators. How do we identify these types of people? How do we deal with that? You know, one of the ways that I did it, like I said, is I would look at that history of stuff, and that's what allows me to say, okay, this person is just, that's how they are. It doesn't matter what you put up. So I mean, there's other people
I
that are doing YouTube,
understand that,
right?
Janzer, but you got
That are
to
listening.
understand this isn't just a YouTube. This is a per people thing. This is a person people thing. There are certain things you
I do
just
understand
don't
that.
say. You just don't say, and if you do say it, then I can't take you seriously. Like the people who complain that I can't pronounce TH. You can't take them seriously because no one says that shit. You don't walk up to someone like when they're talking to someone else out on the street, having their own conversation or what. You don't walk up to someone and say to them, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're pronouncing that wrong." You're like,
You'd be surprised.
I do.
Right.
Oh,
But
I do
I'm
all the
saying this is how I identify them. Remember, like I said, other people will listen to this after the fact. There are people that also do content that maybe are just starting off. And so they will get these things. It's kind of helpful, man. I'm just saying.
You
like,
know what
I'm
else is
giving
helpful?
experiences. Yeah.
Blocking
Talking
and
about
banning
video
these people.
games.
Blocking and banning these people. Yes,
Sure.
Video games. Yes.
Yes. American Truck Simulator.
Back
great.
on task here.
Yes.
It's one of those. Why did I buy it originally? Because it was really, really cheap, and I wanted to see if, hey, it was different. I love to do something that's different than what I would normally play, right? You always want something a little bit different because you don't want your taste to go stale, if you will, right? I mean, if I play FPSs for 2 or 3 years straight, I'm done with FPS. I'm going to want to go do something else. And, of course, I always do a whole bunch of different things. Hell, I have so many damn games on my computer that I don't even play as often as I should because I've got too many damn games on my computer. I've got to actually unload a few just so that way I have a little bit better schedule going on. But I tried it out, and I'm like, actually, this is pretty good. And, it's interesting to be like, you play AAA games, and you don't get the same quality that you can get out of a lot of indie development games or smaller games. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just, like, I feel like I'm a part of that community. I can go in there, I can write on the forums, people aren't going to rip me apart for not knowing something. Or I'm involved with the fact that I can make a mod and people are going to enjoy it and love it and say, hey, man, thank you. We love it. It makes you feel good.
I paid full price for the game, and I don't regret it one bit. At first, I was like, man, I'm making a joke video. I don't want to pay $20 for this. It's an amazing game.
What you get for the $20. And
it is an amazing game.
People are all, you had the minority of people that are like, oh man, for this, I was expecting all of the U.S.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I know.
But that's not how their development model goes, and it's not how it went, or it still works in Euro Truck. You have the base game, which has always been cheap. Then you have the expansions, and they don't overcharge you for it. I think that you get more than enough value for what they ask when they drop a DLC. And even when they drop just like skins, they're only charging like $2 for a pack of skins, right? That is more than enough value because it's official. I love mods. Don't get me wrong. I love modding. I love any game developer, especially game developers that support the modding community. You look at things like Skyrim. Fuck it. How old is that game? And it's fully supported. The mods, the developers support the whole thing. Doom, exactly. And it makes you feel like you're a better part of the game and of the community, and that they actually care about.
That's the beauty of PC gaming as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Customization. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
They started that though on console. I mean, they started that on PS4, right? There's a couple games now that you can
a little bit.
You can mod a little bit. I think Fallout, right? You can do mods on Fallout now on console.
Doom Snap Map, cross platform.
Right. Exactly. And it's nice to see that. Now, granted, I still say PC Master Race, always will, but
yes.
But that's just because that's the platform I choose to play on.
Allegiance prick. I'm right there with you, dude. I've been building machines since.
It's just the
Online.
platform I choose to play on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it is what it is. So I mean,
Hey, PC is
I've
better.
earned-
And I think PC is better. I think it's a
I
better
have
gaming
owned
platform.
plenty of systems, and I still come back to the PC
Mhm.
because I can control more of it.
and
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
have to pay a monthly price.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There you
Yes,
go.
that's
There you
the
go.
killer. People ask why don't you have a console gamer, Tron? Why don't you make console videos? It's too much money. It's too much money. It's like once I spend all the money on the PC, that's it. I'm done. The only thing I need to worry about
For a
is
while.
internet bill. With console, you have
You've
to
got
pay that monthly
Plus
subscription fee. You have to pay money if the console breaks. Like sometimes consoles can be defective and
That's
you
the
have to
same
buy an
with
entire new
PCs.
one.
It's
Yeah,
down all the time. It's freaking, they get hacked a lot.
I honestly
You
don't
know.
give a shit. I don't really want. I'm kind of. Consoles can save people a lot of frustration. That
They
PC,
can, absolutely.
So there is the give and take on that. I really don't, want to get into that. Like, I prefer PC because I have a lot of knowledge with the functionality of it, so I can fix this shit. Other people may not be able to do that. That's not great for them. That's not a good choice. They're going to give it to, they're going to buy a console for that, so they don't have as
I
many
mean, I
issues.
like console as well. I enjoy playing my PS4 every once in a while. There's no, you can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I
you
still
really could.
I still got a PS2 upstairs that my kids play, and
There you go.
my kids also have a Nintendo Wii that still actually works. Don't ask me how. And
Oh.
I've got a PS3 here that was given to me by somebody, and he gave me all the games and everything. I just haven't installed it yet. I'm waiting for the Wii to die, and then I'll go ahead and install the PS3.
Oh, your kids are gonna love that. Your kids will love that.
I know that, well, of course, but my boys haven't been the best, so they don't get it installed until they actually.
Oh, you're a good dad. You're a good dad.
I know where to sit with the others. Hey, you guys are gonna fight and argue with each other. You can look at it. It will never get set up.
Nice. I want to shoot out a couple of things here about video games because we've talked a lot of other things, but really quickly, fan-made Star Wars Battlefront 3 is getting the go-ahead from Valve to be released on Steam for free. I'm going to dump that link.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to dump that link in
When did
the
this
chat
happen?
here.
When did this happen? You tell me
Just
more. Tell me
recently. You can check out the article. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but basically they got the go-ahead from Valve to release the game for free on Steam. In fact, they have a little mock-up on that link that I dropped, and I'm making notes of all of this, so when we release this count, I'll have it in the video that I normally release to you.
Nice.
So we can have all the stuff. Yeah, but basically there was a game that was being worked on for Battlefront 3 that was dropped in favor of Battlefront, the new version,
Yes.
DICE's Battlefront. But the other game was almost completed. Now the developer, I think it's Frontwire. It's been Frontwire's goal to recreate Free Radical's version ever since, even though LucasArts has consistently refused to confirm it ever existed. Well, so the only problem now is they haven't gotten a full go-ahead from Disney, but given that Valve is backing them, it's kind of less of an issue now.
Oh yeah,
True.
Galaxy
That's
and
true.
Turmoil.
The other thing is
Yeah.
they're not going to charge a goddamn thing for it. So where there's no legal anything there, you can't. How are you going to?
Oh,
what are you going to
Janzer,
do?
don't underestimate the
No, no, no.
shittiness of
Don't
Disney.
don't
I'm
underestimate
not going
Disney.
to. But when
but-
you have Gaben on one hand,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the
Dude,
power
I love
of an
Gaben, but
unreleased
Gaben versus
Half-Life
Mickey
3.
Mouse, he's gonna lose.
I don't know about that. He,
Well, I don't
he
know.
practically is Mickey Mouse on the
I
other
mean,
side, man.
You look at
He runs computers now. He runs gaming, literally
does?
on
Yeah, I know.
PCs.
Like,
Yeah.
Gaben is a god among men, but Mickey Mouse is the devil, and he,
No.
he
No,
knows. He
But
has
Disney-
praise.
But Disney's changed on games. Look, they dropped
Yes.
that Infinite Heroes, and they said that they've realized that they will be better off
Zergon,
licensing,
I'd like to say literally free to play.
licensing,
Literally.
and sub-licensing their product to other developers to develop versus holding it themselves. So
For the
but
Star Wars games, yes. In
For
fact, the next
everything.
thing.
they've dropped their. I mean, they're Infinite Heroes, one of the biggest, most popular games that
yeah,
Disney
I
ever.
know.
And they just, we're done.
Yeah.
It's costing us too much money to develop it, publish it, and
But but it's
and
done
keep it
very
in charge.
well. It was
It
doing
has.
very well. It just wasn't
has.
doing as well as
Originally.
the highest selling. The high. What they're doing the stupid thing of trying to compare it to like, well, it's not selling as well as like, let's say Overwatch right now, or as well as Doom did. Well, no, but it's still doing extremely well, and there's a lot of people that really still play it and really want the content.
I know you guys are going to laugh at me when I say this.
No. I understand the business behind it, but I'm just saying it's still stupid.
I loved Pirates of the Caribbean when they made that game. That was like, okay, and I played it from early beta, and I still have like all the stuff that they sent. They actually sent you stuff in the mail, like we had maps and flags and gear and stuff that they send the early beta people, and I had access to their test servers and everything, right? And I loved that game right up until the very end when they turned around and said, you know what, we're shutting it down. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? And that was my WoW. Like, I played WoW, and I was never really 100% into it. Never really, I only spent a couple months on it, right? But I played this game, and I paid for it every month. I had no problem paying for it every month. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was part of the community. I mean, I knew so many different people, and then one day Disney's just like, yeah, no, we're done with it. And that's what they just did with Infinite Heroes again. They come up, they had this great product, and then they're like, nah, we're not making as much as we once did.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the problem.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and drop it and give it as sub-licensing to people if anyone wants to, develop on it.
Right. So another quick Star Wars thing. Apparently the developers of Dead Space, who developed Dead Space,
I know this. I've heard this. Yes, go
on. Yeah. So
well,
they're going ahead with the Star Wars game as well. Apparently a groundbreaking direction. I don't really know what the fuck that means.
I've actually been following this. They're making a third-person action story game around Star Wars.
Yes.
So, and this is perfect. Visceral Games is perfect for this.
Visceral Games. There you go.
Yes. They've made Dead Space, so they're perfect for this kind of thing.
And apparently they have the recently, I guess she's now out of job, Amy Hennig from Uncharted series.
From Uncharted. Perfect combination. They have her writing the story. They have Visceral doing the gameplay, which they're great at. Oh, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this.
So I'm dropping that link in chat as well, so y'all can read about that. It's very light commentary on that article, but it was enough to catch my attention, because if you look on that article, there's quite a lot of directions. There's a lot of developers that are going to get a piece of the Star Wars action. So much that I just was like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't follow enough of the Star Wars stuff. Old Republic is going to be created as well. I forgot who's doing that, but that's in the works as well. There's like 3 or 4 titles out there right now being handed out to different developers. It's a bit much for me because I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. Apparently Respawn working on Titanfall 2, right? They're working on the Star Wars game.
Yeah, they had their own Star Wars game. Yeah.
There's no real knowledge about what's going on with it, but maybe with E3 coming up, that's going to happen.
I got some knowledge. It's going to be once again a third person story action game, and they have the guy who worked on the previous God of War video games, helping them direct it and stuff.
And that's a positive and minus for some people. Some people really enjoy the God of War series, and some people didn't. But I'll tell you what, they did a good game. They did. The problem is they kept going and they didn't stop.
Yes, they should have stopped after Free, and they made two
or changed it up. Like we're tired of that one protagonist. But then again, how often do you change out the main protagonist? It just would have been nice to have a different protagonist with the same kind of idea behind it, like taking on a different culture. Then again, that's kind of an issue with a lot of video games anyways, is they're always hard. They're always going back to the exact same settings, the exact same cultures, the exact same time periods. There's plenty of other cultures out there that are not even tapped. There was a game that I played a while back on live stream. It's a Kickstarter game, and I think it has to do with like Thai history and culture and mythology. And I still follow them on Twitter, and I can't remember the name of them right now, but that's what I'm talking about. Like the art direction in it, the protagonist was, different. Everything about it was just a little bit different, and it was nice to see something fresh come out of like a fighting platformer where the fighting in it was a strategy type, but real time at the same time. And you had combos as well. So it's kind of like a fighting game / platformer / tactical, really fun concepts in there. And I know it's, oh man, I can't, let me see if it's on my desktop somewhere. I might still have it here.
Question.
But yeah, go ahead.
Anyone here like strategy games?
Here, I do.
Yeah, of
I
course.
do.
Strategy,
course.
tower defense type of games?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I do. I
yeah,
love
okay.
tower defense. I love tower defense.
Hop on the Steam, put in One Troll Army, and you can download it for free.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
One troll
I've
army?
seen that.
Yeah, they
I've seen
were
that
playing
game.
it on the
Now-
live stream, and they actually released the game for free because the live streamers beat them in the PvP game.
Oh shit.
So
That
he
is
said
some
After
balls.
5 hours of playing, he said if the
Cool.
gamers, if the players could beat the developers, which they ended
One-
up doing,
troll army.
Yeah, it's free.
they released it for free.
Very
Wow.
positive reviews.
What's the art direction look like on it? See, my problem is I don't like some of the. I've seen some of the stuff you've done, Dan, with like tower defense stuff, but I don't like
It's
the
cartoony.
I don't like the cartoony. I
It is
really don't.
cartoony.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is. I don't like the Minecraft.
Doesn't
I
look
don't
bad
like the.
though.
Okay, let me put it to you
Mm.
this way, though, Janger. Okay, let me
Yeah,
put it to you this way.
Ultra cartoony.
Oh, Dan,
It's
just before you do,
free.
Janzer,
Yeah.
the game you were talking about before, Invisible, was that or
In-
Indivisible?
Indivisible. Yes, thank you very
That was
much.
the
I'm
name of the
sorry about
game.
that. Yes, I even played it on live stream, but that's correct. Indivisible.
So
Please go
there's One Troll Army, and it's free. So
Yep.
even if you don't
ahead.
like
You're
it,
talking
it's
to a guy
free.
that turns down beer if it's not the type that I
Then,
like.
you know
So
what?
I'm an
Then
asshole. All right.
I'm gonna suggest to you. I'm gonna suggest to you that you type in Iron Snout on Steam and download
Iron
that
Snout?
game.
All right, cool. I'll
And
check it
it's a
out.
big game.
game.
It's a
That's
big game.
pig.
It's a whole 50 megabytes to download. I'm just saying.
Oh.
You might not have a lot of space for it, okay? But I
Oh,
challenge you.
piggies.
I challenge you to play it. You will.
Now that
be
is
freaking-
a game I want to play.
That wolf looks funny as fuck, though.
Oh my god.
I've played
I did
it.
not know
I
about this.
haven't.
Overwhelmingly
I haven't done a
positive.
video on it yet,
Wow.
but it is freaking insanely fun and challenging and
I'll check
frustrating
it out.
all in
I'll do a
one.
little vid on it. I like fun stuff.
I like
All right.
this. I like
Yeah.
that. I see this interests me more than the One Troll Army.
But
I'm
I
not
don't. I
lying.
mean,
it does
Dungeon
me too. It does me
Defenders.
too. I'm not
I
kidding.
don't really. Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
so
Just
a
for
pig
kicks.
kicking
It's
the
it's
shit
fucking
out of a
pigs
ton
with
of
chainsaws for crying out loud.
oh, and there's more development coming too to the game. Like he's adding more things down the road. So he's a single guy, like one guy making this whole thing, and he's adding more things coming in. It's going to be insane the stuff he's doing. But yeah,
Living the
it's
li-
free. So
living the dream.
there's a couple of freebies for you. I mean, you know,
Nice. Nice.
Dude, thanks.
it's free. You can't go wrong there. I mean, you know,
So those were here's that I'm dropping the Indivisible game in chat.
yeah.
But those were my Star Wars things, the quick sweep that I had of that, and I'll add that in there. There is something though that I do want to get to, and it is a big one for me. It is a big thing. It is not. It's not the game that I was gifted by Mr. Graviton Dryad, you piece of shit. Which is
Technomancer one.
right, Technomancer. Right, it's not that. When that comes out, I will be playing that.
Ramaton
Right.
Dryad is a hell of a guy for doing that.
He's
a
a
fantastic
son of a
guy.
bitch. He
You
is
can
the
freaking
best.
bad mouth him all you want, but he's
I
a
know.
hell of a guy.
So this game, I'm going to put up a few different images in time, but I have been looking at this game for a little bit, and now this game is also it's being developed by a developer that once again is kind of a spotty, like run with video games. Team Ninja. So the game is called
Oh.
Hellblade, and
Oh my god, you son of a bitch! That was the game I want to bring up this whole
I
podcast.
asked you to keep bringing up video
Calm
games.
down.
You stopped. Yeah.
Calm your tits.
Give the game
Settle
some
down.
time to talk.
Good. You can talk about it because I've got I delved into it. I watched a lot of the development of it. The
yes.
diaries.
That's
I
what
watched
I
a lot of
wanted
the
to talk
combat.
about. This is one of the
It is
only video
amazing.
games in existence where the game developer is literally taking you for the step-by-step process of them making this
It is
game.
so
It has
damn
my
good.
absolute support. My absolute support, Hellblade. I had no
I'm
idea you were
absolutely
looking
gonna
into
get it, too.
Hellblade.
I'm gonna need you
I
to
had
calm down.
PS4 and PC. So fuck Xbox apparently, but it's going to be released for PS4 and PC right now, and it is a AAA level game. But they're saying it's an independent AAA because
It
they
is.
have the technology. They have the ability, they have the tools, and they're really pushing it as well. You can go to their website and look at their dev diaries. You can see what work they're putting into it. It is gorgeous.
Okay, wait a second.
The movement. Let me put up another image here.
They said
I
the
gotta
same
watch
thing
that
about
video.
the Order 1886. All right.
Go watch the in-game gameplay. Go watch I put a link in the chat there if you want to look at the movement. The combat, plus Team Ninja has done some good stuff in the past.
Oh, yes.
It just depends on how well you like it. Devil May Cry, DMC, some people really liked it, some people didn't. But they know what they're doing with combat. Heaven's Sword as well, I believe. I think that was also a hit and miss, and unfortunately it also had a shitty movie that kind of tarnished it as well. But it looks like a very, very promisingly amazing game. And the premise is that it's
Little
kind of
Warframey?
no, not at all. It's more like no, it's based off of more like Celtic mythology. So you're gosh, I'm fucking things up here.
I didn't raising my hand so goddamn high.
Let's say now we're talking about this stuff.
I'm trying to adjust some stuff here.
Okay. Well, the game is about this character called Zenua. She's basically kind of like a female Viking. Again, it's Celtic, like you said, Jenser, Celtic and Norse mythology. It's focusing on the really crazy thing about this game. It's focusing more on psychology. She has PTSD. She's been through a tragic event, and her mind is fucking with her. And throughout the game, what the developers are doing is they're using the environment and these voices in her head to tell a story. They're not just going to tell you everything up front. It's going to be a bit of a mystery as well to find out what traumatized her. And apparently, she from the latest trailer, something to do with a lost lover. Like looking for redemption, maybe a ghost, his body. I don't know. The story looks very interesting. The artwork, I've been following Hellblade for so long. Janzer, I could hug you. I may be a bit pissed that you stole my thunder, but I've been stealing your thunder, so I completely understand. Hellblade.
No, it's okay. One of us would have brought it up.
Take a deep breath.
No, Dan, I can't. I'm excited for Hellblade.
I want to help out here too. How the character
don't stain your screen.
It's Senua. Is that correct? Senua. She is not an overpowered going to dude cool like murder everybody whatever. They actually they look at her as a what if this was a real human being, down to they scrapped a lot of their initial art direction and artwork and development and went a different direction to make it more realistic, based off of actually bringing in like a woman that like they could scan her entire body and use her like a real woman's body.
I've seen that. I'm looking at that.
Yeah, you really check out the dev diaries on this. They're putting some heavy work into it.
They've gone full crazy with their
but they've got that AAA background there. They've really worked on some things, but they wanted to get more of the direction under their control versus a publisher pushing things and changing it like with other games they've worked with. So, and I looked at some of the other titles, and one of them, I can't remember what was the last one that they only mentioned 3 of them. They didn't mention...
games Ninja Fury has made before?
Yes. There was... Hellblade, they only mentioned like 3 of them. They don't mention like Neo, for example. I'm not sure how deep they had developed on that.
Okay, well, they've made DMC Devil May Cry. They made Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
That's the one I don't know anything about.
It's really good.
It looks very stylized. Really this is the opposite of that. This is more very, as far as like the development of the character is very realistic. Whereas Odyssey to the West, is that correct?
Odyssey to the West, yes. Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
It's very cartoony, very over the top. Like even the character modeling is very over the top. And they wanted to bring it back to like, let's look at real, like for example, the woman herself is they're relying on
incredible motion capture,
speed and agility. Massive motion capture. It's just so much beautiful work that's being done. From what I could tell, I just spent most of the day looking at this, so it was really nice, nice thing to see, to watch artists being able to do what they want to do is really what it looked like. And they're like, this is our thank you to gamers that have been following us. That's amazing, in and of itself. Hopefully they can keep it away from having to go to a publisher or something like that.
The concept art is insane, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like the enemies for the game. I don't know if you guys see the concept art for some of the enemies and bosses that are going to be in the game.
The Hellmouth,
I have,
the Demon Wolf.
Yeah,
they're very interesting because some of them, I'm only showing one here, but like that's just the helmet that guy's wearing, for example there. And it's just, you have to watch the actual gameplay of the reactions of the combat. They have queued up so many, if this happens, then this. If this happens, then this. Their focus is not on UI, but on how to give the gamer the understanding of what's happening, like based on if a strike hits, is blocked, it chips a little bit. In fact, the enemies have no health bars. They would only have physical damage that you can see on them, slashes and cuts.
I see.
The same thing with her. It is so good. It is so good. And the fact, like I said, in-game gameplay that you can actually see of the combat. That's so early. Yeah, I'm super on board with this game. Super on board.
I've been following it since it was announced, Janzer. I think we really need to support Hellblade because it sets a new precedent for the gaming industry, really. Like Ninja Fury, like you said before, they have the skill. They have the skill and some of the resources that AAA developer would have, but they don't have the backing of a big publisher. So this is simultaneously, if I can say that word right, simultaneously a AAA game and an indie game. It's an indie game being developed by a AAA developer. Like they have all the quality, but they don't necessarily have all the production or the marketing or anything like that. And they're taking pennies out of their own pockets to make this game. This has been a dream game for Ninja Fury for a while now, and I absolutely support it. And because they are so limited, their budget is so limited that they're finding workarounds and revolutionary, really, ways of making games, especially when it comes to the motion capture. They did an amazing presentation where they showed live motion capture in game. It was incredible. The presentation was simply incredible, and the audience, they showed this in front of a huge audience at a tech convention, and it blew everybody's minds because nothing like that has been done before. But because they're so limited in their budget, and they need to find workarounds, they're discovering new techniques to make games.
I can immediately see Dark Souls players that love the melee combat gravitating towards this game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can see the people that like Nioh gravitating towards this game. The combat itself, and I've seen some comments in chat, whatever, I don't really even care what they're saying. I did see one thing that's some like, oh, realism blowout. Not every game can be the same. Not every game has to be super fantasy. I was just talking about like how some of those tower defense games are super cartoony, or you'll find another game that's like kind of like the Minecraft look or whatever, and whatever. Not every game has to be realistic. We're not asking for this game to be less realistic because honestly, what other games are that super realistic? There's not. You can't say Dark Souls. They're not. They're fantasy as fuck. They're not even intended to try to be like anywhere near realistic. So I don't really take those comments as like, it's realistic. So what? I don't think I've seen this level of realism before. And if every project was pushed to try to be like that, that's when there'd be an issue. But it's all about having a variety. It's like art. It literally is art. It's about having variety.
Well, this one's definitely on the radar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's no need to be all fully sold or whatever on it.
Right.
Like I saw something about skepticism. Good, fine, be skeptical. I don't care. I'm going to just say, that I've looked into it deeply and I'm definitely on board with it. But that's after, that's based on my experience and what I've seen so far. But that's... it's quite a game. Quite a game.
I think, now, what do you guys think about this? The thing that really, as much as the setting and the look of the game, the protagonist and the combat, as much as the game itself attracts me, what I really want to support and what I really think more people should be talking about is how they're developing this game with these dev diaries. They're literally showing you
Yeah, they're
how
transparent.
They're
I mean, they're absolutely being transparent about every aspect. Now, I've seen this before with the Order 1886.
They weren't transparent. They weren't. They hid a ton of shit. They hid a ton of stuff.
But they had like a really elaborate website with diary about how the game was coming, and look what you got. You know what I mean? So come on. I mean,
no,
you have
they
to
didn't
be,
actually show you game development. They told you about the lore and what inspired them. Not once they didn't tell you about mechanics. They didn't tell you how much actual gameplay or game time would be in the game. They're giving you they're giving with help like they're giving you the numbers.
I agree with you, Gamertron. This is a lot more than what Order 1886 did. But 1886 had that big elaborate. I mean, they had a diary as well.
I stand by enjoying watching 1886. I know that people say it was like a movie. Guess what? I enjoyed watching it. Maybe that's what it was. Its intention was, but people wanted something else from it. People wanted something else from it. And I think some of the gameplay that I saw was like, oh, that's really shitty. Especially when you had the wolves show up or whatever, the werewolves. Right. I was like, oh my God, that is horrible. But the detail, the quality, blah, blah,
the
blah.
game
blah.
looked beautiful. There's
no
doubt.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Just not much of a video game based on the expectation.
There. Yeah, not much of a game there. Yeah.
I get Jake. You're in left field by yourself on that one, buddy. This guy trying to say that most games are realistic. I'm like, oh yeah, let me try that. Doom. Everyone has gone to hell. It's true, absolutely. Oh wait, let's try Battleborn. Let's try Overwatch. Warframe. Well, I was thinking about recent ones. You're on. Battlefield 1 is probably the only thing that's going to be based in like actual realism.
Right.
But even Infinite War, come on, that's futuristic sci-fi, dude. Come on.
Yes. Okay, anyways, back to Hellblade. What I wanted to ask you guys, and I'd love to hear Dan's thoughts on this, is should more developers, not just indie, not just AAA, but just video game developers in general, should they do what Hellblade's doing in terms of its development? Should it be should more developers be completely transparent as Ninja Theory is being right here?
I think they know that they need to give that because they're literally talking to the community because the community is the one they're
not a game
publisher.
Factory.
They don't have a publisher right now.
Yeah.
So
they're not
putting out factory. That to the people that oh man, I just fucked that up, but whatever. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. So I think well, I mean, if you look at the industry, right, with AAA games, they think they can get away with whatever they want to do, and the smaller developer, indie developer, whatever, knows that it's about the public and the followers. And I think that until gamers as a whole put their foot down and say, we're not going to take the shit anymore from AAA developers, you won't see them come down to that same level that you have with these smaller guys. These guys that actually care about what we say and what we do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is kind of like a first for a AAA to say, you know what, we're going to try to... It's not really. There have been some other Kickstarter-based things where they're trying to feel out the community. I'm
not a huge Kickstarter thing, though.
I do listen to it, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I may not
participate a lot, but I know what's going on because I do listen to what's going on, So it's just a matter of, I like that this big developer is saying, you know what, we're going to try to give you the game that we want, not the one that the publisher ends up directing. That's where people always put it on the developer, but I've been saying for quite some time, literally probably a couple of years now, probably because I'm a co-developer myself, that it's not always down to the developer that's fucking up the game.
Right.
90% of the time, it's not down to the developer. It's down to the investor or the publishing company.
Yes.
It's same with movie studios. You might bomb on some kind of movie, but it might have been tampered with the fucking studio executives that don't know movies. They don't know art, from a hole in the ground. So
Let me
same thing.
put it to you from the standpoint where I can relate, if you will. Okay, so you've got two games that I've played heavily through the years. Excuse me. Obviously, we've all played Warframe, right? Played it heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Firefall on the other side, where I played it longer than I ever played Warframe so far. But because of bad investments and contracts gone wrong with the investors, the game fell to shit. And the game is about to die as a result of giving too much authority to the investors and the publisher. Versus DE, if you look at it, granted we have Li Lu or whoever the hell that is from China, whatever, that basically more or less is the big investor and owns it, right? But they don't have the rights on the development of it. So DE still has control on how they develop their game for the most part. Obviously, we see it with new stuff that comes out, like the new Prime Access, where things get more grindy or harder to get. It's more pushed for financial purposes, if you will. Correct?
Right.
And you can see that. You can see that underlying every time they push out something new, it gets harder to achieve as a free player, and versus obviously just going out and buying it. But we're talking a free to play model overall, right? So free to play, this is what they do. They want to make it so you go ahead and buy the thing. But game wise, content wise, it hasn't changed. Everybody was concerned when they went with an investor. Oh God, everything's going to be screwed up. Everything's gone. The publisher or the investor is going to make the decision of this game and is going to kill it off. Hasn't happened. Of course, they're not a AAA developer, and that's another problem, though, right? Because AAA developers, this group, they want to do what we want, and they want the game done correctly, yeah? And they want it the way the fans would want it to be. But is that ultimately what's going to end up happening?
Never know. You never know.
And do I trust it? Because they're a AAA developer. They've got the cash flow. They can do whatever they want. Here you're putting something up on Kickstarter. Maybe you're just trying to, get money up front for not doing anything. It happens. It happens a lot. I mean, I even look at, like, you look at EA. Take EA for instance. AAA, they got so big for themselves, they didn't give a shit of what the customer thought anymore. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do, and here it is. Shittiest games they released. They released a whole year's worth of shittiest games, and at that point is when everybody started saying, no, this won't happen again. And I'm not saying that they're perfect now, but I'm saying that they have entirely changed their model from we need to release everything every year sorry to now every other year, where they have some development time where things can actually come out pretty nice. Just me, just saying. They could kill off things if they didn't listen, but like Need for Speed, it took a lot longer to get out on PC, than it did obviously on consoles. But it came out on PC, and I think they did a damn good job on the version for PC, the 60 FPS with everything in it. It actually pissed off people on the consoles, because people on the consoles like, wait, they've got manual, this is not fair, blah blah blah, obviously. And then that patch released to consoles, which was interesting in itself when you saw those comments. But they took their time in actually developing it and listening to what the community said, and it came out well. I supported Dirt Rally, Codemasters. They're AAA. I supported them through their early access when they started creating the game on Steam. I got to tell you, that was probably one of the most involved I've seen ever a AAA developer be with their community. And the game is where it stands today. It's actually a really damn good game as a result of them actually listening to the community.
Well, how much? Okay, let me ask you this, Dan. How like there are times where the community like doesn't know what they want. Like we can agree with that, right? Like there are times
Yeah,
where
of course.
game communities don't know what you want. So what's the right stuff to listen to?
Wow. I guess that's kind of hard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
in that
that's
respect, that's usually when a developer's kind of like, "This is where we want to take it. What is your idea?" You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I hear you.
Like you'll see a lot of things on these early access programs. Is the developer has a lot of ideas of what they want to do, but they're not sure what the player base would like to see more of. I think eventually you're going to see everything show up, that they have on their plans. But I've seen a lot of them now, like, okay, well, we've got these options on the table. So we can develop this portion of the game now, this portion of the game, or this portion of the game. We're not sure what to develop. What do you guys think? What would you like to see more? I mean, you got that aspect of it. And that's heavily influenced these days on a lot of these games that are coming out.
I hear you, Dan. I hear you, and I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. Absolutely. You guys, Janzer?
I'm sorry, I've been interacting with chat, so you'd have to rephrase that question. There was one thing you said that it sounded like you were talking about from the perspective of the gamer, which I have an answer for, but I missed the forward portion of the question of like, who do we listen to? I'm not really sure what that was directed at. And that's my fault for I'm engaging chat. My bad.
You listen
Sorry,
to me.
chat.
That's
It's all your fault. Blame chat.
You always listen to me. That's it.
Now I got a command for this. Check it out. Check it out. Chat is being blamed for something. Can you rephrase the question? Because I'm an asshole.
Well, I asked Dan, like, when Dan says that the best way to like help support a game and help it like grow and be alive and all that good stuff is to listen to the community. I ask, since there are times where the community doesn't know what they want.
It's true. Yeah, no,
what
the
part of the
community is
community
a
do you listen
mass
to?
of bleeding. Rah, rah. You don't know what the hell. It's too hard. It takes a creative director that's working on the development. I can absolutely tell you how a project comes together. I fucking do that all the time, man. It takes a creative director with vision that knows where that project's going to go. No one just says, I'm going to make a video game. What are we going to do? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just listen to the people and see what they... Actually, some of it is listening to the people and seeing what they want. But with all project development, you are trying to solve a problem most of the time. And the word problem in people's minds doesn't always equate to problems in the minds of a developer or a creative, because it's not exactly a problem, but there is a thing you're trying to do, an effect or a story you're trying to tell. There's an emotion you're trying to evoke. Like for Hellblade, for example, they want to explore psychology. They want to explore, trauma. They want to explore these concepts in the form of a video game, and it's that's their choice. They're doing a very interesting take on it, but they have a goal in mind. So what was the question?
Yeah, I think a game developer should have a philosophy. You have to adopt a philosophy and not stray too far from that philosophy. I've seen games where you can tell the developer is clueless, flailing in the wind from month to month.
But they might have had a development, like a piece of code that they wanted to perfect. You see? So there might have been a concept, and to them, it's experience. And they're doing it because they're like, we don't really know what this game is going to go, but I do want to try this one thing out. So I mean,
if the philosophy of your game is to pander to the community, then by all means do that.
Yeah, that's usually marketing's job.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the developers that have a philosophy about their game, and they're not going to stray too far from that philosophy, no matter what the outrage from the community or whatever.
Right.
I think games in the long run are better that way. DC Universe didn't have a philosophy about their game at all. They were just like, okay, well, I'm going to listen to this guy this month, and then next month we're going to listen to this guy on the forums, and then and they would keep changing. They had no philosophy about their game.
It really depends on who is in control, Count. Like if they made the decision that they're going to let the community run it, like Warframe, the Digital Extremes. I use them as an example. People can bitch about them all they want, but they're one of my favorite companies. I would love to work for them. I mean, because
Right.
they do so many different things. As much as the community gets pissed off about things because they can't see the bigger picture or they don't know everything behind it, there really is so much transparency that you can give. I know I work on smaller projects and people get stressed at me over things that I'm doing, and I can see them face to face on a daily basis. You
Right.
cannot ever fully, like, I would have to mind meld with people in order for them to know exactly what I'm doing all of the time. That's just like people that are insecure about like the development, and the only way to make people secure about the development is to knock some shit out of the park. But you have to just at some point, like you said, Count, you have to at some point just do your own thing
Right.
and let everyone just shut everyone else out. Now, once you
Exactly.
get some, you know, you've got some good history, you've got a good reputation, whatever it is, good resume, good projects that you worked on, then you can probably take in, you know, some more of the external influences, and people will trust you more with their ideas or whatever. But
Zuragon, it says in the chat, what philosophy? It doesn't matter what my opinion of your philosophy is. Just adopt one that is the vision of your game and stay with it. You know what I mean?
If you don't have one and you keep flopping around, that's how you piss everyone off.
Yeah, your game is then you'll end up pleasing no one.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Let's look at it this way. Let me
Get off.
get off. What?
His
My
nickel
cat is up in my webcam.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
god.
His nickel.
Let
Sorry.
me put it this way, okay? And I'm going to go over to Codemasters here once more. Okay, so we're talking racing games. I don't know how much you guys really are involved in that, but you had the Grid series where they started out really great. You know, the first Grid that ever came out was awesome. Grid 2 was okay, and then you know, it's like they didn't really listen to their fan base on things that needed to be changed between the two games, and it went sour, right? And
Right.
now they turn around. They have their philosophy. They have their concept of game. They know what they want as their final product when they come out with Dirt Rally into early access. But they also had okay, we're going to show our fan base that we're actually going to listen to them. Now, is it true? Did they truly listen to their fan base? Maybe, maybe not. But do you feel like you were a part of it because they were actually responding to you? And let's say they wanted to release one particular module before something else, but the fans, everybody that was early access to the game that was involved in it, said, hey, I don't want to see that portion yet. I want to see this portion. They would go ahead and release, you know, that module because that's what everybody wanted, and then they'd work on that module and fix those problems. So
Right.
yeah, they were listening, but to what extent, you know, I guess that's really anyone's guess, right? Is it are they catering to say, we've got it all created, we're just kind of release it as you guys want to see it in certain stages, and we'll get your feedback of how shit it is, and if it's really shit, we'll drop it and come back on that one and go to something else. But regardless, I think the big turn here in the gaming industry has to be that game developers have to come back to players. They have to.
Right.
Oh yeah, ultimately.
Right.
You have to. And if you don't, your game is going to die. I don't care how big you are. You're going to die. Your game will die no matter how big you are.
I'm big in Japan.
I don't
Well,
Sorry.
Dan's not right. Dan's not right. Look at
Dan's
Star
not
Wars.
right? Is that what you said?
No, Dan is right. Well,
You
he's
said
not
Dan's
wrong.
not
I'm
right.
sorry, not
You
wrong.
said
Not
Dan's not
wrong.
right.
Not wrong.
Twice.
I didn't say not wrong. He's not wrong. Dan's not wrong. Look at Star Wars Battlefront. It
Do we
took-
have to?
Okay, just for the devs didn't listen
No
to
one
the
else is.
community. The dev didn't listen to the community, and they didn't start. Well, they did eventually listen to the community, but they didn't listen to them in time. Like the playlist population for Star Wars Battlefront has spiraled downward incredibly.
It was too late.
It was too late. They started listening, but only months after they soaked in and were done rolling in the money. They were like, we want some more money. Let's see what the community wants. Well, now half your community is gone and playing other games now. Like, I still stand by that Star Wars Battlefront is a good game. It is a solid game, but the support for the game, it just wasn't enough after launch. It just wasn't enough. They didn't for months they didn't do anything. The only thing they did, they added one free map and one free game mode, but that shit was already ready. It was already ready. They just cut it out of the game and released it saying, "Oh, it's free DLC." It's not free DLC. Coders found that the code was already in the game, and then you already took it out.
Let's not go down that road, because
I'm sorry,
is
my
something that
apologies.
really pisses me off about games these days, where they've got a full game and then they cut part out to make it into a DLC.
Okay, sorry, we won't get into that.
Those first day DLC releases really piss me off.
Understandably. Okay, let's go back to some positivity. Okay, we have been going quite a while now. As much as I'd love to keep going, I know
3:27.
Yeah,
but
3
hours 27 minutes.
Before we end, I want to go back to Hellblade and just talk about one more thing. We've talked about the development of the game and how it's really cool and unique and our opinions on that. But seeing as Hellblade is a video game, there's one last question I want to ask all of you guys. Based on the gameplay we've seen so far, now it is a video game, so the question does come up.
I don't know that they've seen the gameplay.
Well, okay. I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen the gameplay. I've seen the gameplay.
I have not. I'm gonna be checking it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, based on what you've seen so far,
which would be
the game. Yeah. Do you think the game will be fun? Because based on what I've seen so far, the game looks fun.
I've already mentioned that this would be a game that if you like the mechanics of Dark Souls or that Neo game or Bloodborne, if you like melee fighting with reactive results and effects that you can see based on the combat that's going on there, if I hit something with a sword and I make a glancing blow, it's going to have my character stumble a little. Or, like it's going to be, the combat to me is a little bit more realistic. Somebody mentioned in chat that they saw the, there's a movie. There are movies that they're referencing in the gameplay itself.
Berserk? Was that?
No,
reference?
That's an anime. No, like there's I think it's I'm not sure if it's a South Korean movie about it's kind of like Dread. I think people even said that
The Raid
ripped it off. The Raid, exactly. Kind of like the action and the motion in The Raid. There was a couple other movies. I think one other movie at least that they referenced, but they're trying to look for like realistic combat because I've even heard some big YouTubers on the Dark Souls side that really want to see some more. They don't like the fast combat of like Bloodborne. They liked some of the more measured combat of Dark Souls 1 because you had to kind of think about the engagement, which I think is kind of silly because I think you can really cheese the fuck out of that game. But if you don't do that and you restrict yourself and you just play it based on like kind of like sizing up your opponent and looking for strikes and when you can strike and when you can't, when you should block and when you shouldn't, not just using, I'm going to use shields all the time because they're super OP, or I'm going to roll through everything because that's super OP. You're actually trying to play it like if it was as good of a reactive fighting game as you would want. This looks like that. This looks like they've really stepped up, it might be the next level in melee fighting. So I'm extremely interested in it because of that. I love melee. So we'll see how it goes. I really do like the idea that you're not going to have the UI there to like, reference. It's going to be, you're going to have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the combat. For example, handling multiple, enemies in the game, they said themselves, they're like, we're going to give you audio cues so you'll be able to hear based on positional audio. And Rainbow Six Siege has shown me positional audio can work really well, even with headphones. You can tell when I'm constantly, if anyone's played Rainbow Six Siege with me, they know that I call out, I'm like, coming from upstairs, there's somebody coming down the stairs behind you, whatever. I can tell because that's how well the developers worked with the positional audio in the game. So,
and if you have a good headset,
I just have a decent headset. I mean, it's just headphones, But shit, what was I saying? But basically, they want you to pay attention to the fighting itself. And if you put yourself in a corner, you fuck yourself up. That's not, no game UI is going to help you on that. They don't want to have people rely on camera work. They want you to use the environment, which is what I love, because I say that about any game that I play. In Warframe as well. Any game is like in real fighting, you have to know your surroundings. You have to know what's around you. You have to be aware of everything. So it seems really interesting. I think that those would really enjoy this game. But I'm selling hard on it, and I don't need to. I'm just telling people what I think about the game right now. Y'all can look into it yourselves and look at the history of what this Ninja Theory has created, and you may be turned off because of that history. And I would say that's perfectly fine. You know,
Wait,
they have
okay,
kind of a hit and miss.
What history? Like, what history? Why would people be turned off?
Not a lot. The Heaven Sword did not exactly do very well. You know,
Really?
it did okay.
I heard a lot of good things about Heaven Sword.
Also, when people listen to you say that, yeah, I heard some good things about it as well. But you also very much like something very hard. It's hard to like, you know, hear what you say and take it for an absolute, because you find the positives so much that it's like, we have to pull it back, rein it in a little bit.
I'm not telling people to take the absolute. I'm not telling people to take. I'm sharing my opinion. I just put up a video saying you shouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's good.
What'd you say?
People don't always. People don't always take that. You know, people that don't watch your videos, remember iTunes. You know, so it's just they only know us from the podcast. So that's just one of those, or at least that's my hope, is that there's more people out there that are listening. But it's just, they're going to be skeptical, and that's good. You should look at the history of any developer that is doing work on a game that you find interesting, because you never know, things change all the time. They've already changed the direction of the development of this game once.
Yes.
So that's something to be concerned about. And their history of what they've done with the other games as
I wouldn't be concerned about that. That just shows that they're willing to take chances. They're willing to take chances.
That's a cause for concern then. That's a good concern, but hey, I'm still concerned, Right. I'm like, hey, that's great. So,
well, anyways, Count, Dan, based on what you've heard us talk about Hellblade, and based on what we've shown so far.
Asking too much there, man.
I'm just asking what they think. I'm asking what they think. Like, does the game interest them? Dan, Count, does the game interest you? Are you going to be following it now?
You have to ask me in another episode. I have to go find out about it first.
Well,
yeah, okay, I mean, from the art direction, it looks amazing. I'm not a big Dark Souls player. Now, I did play Bloodborne and I enjoyed it, but those are the frustrating kind of games for me. So it's not a game that I'm going to be like, oh, I can't wait for this game. But I have an open mind. I'll give it a chance. But I mean, the game looks amazing. I mean, there's no doubt. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna follow it, but I'm not like big into those kind of games. I know you and Jans have played those games more than I do. That melee based, you find your window.
I enjoy melee, yeah.
Yeah, you find your window of opportunity.
Delicious.
Yeah, so I don't know. If it's cool, I'll get it. There's no doubt.
So
Boy, that was real deep. I mean, what? I don't know what you want me to say. I'm
asking your opinion is all. Anyways, guys, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. We unfortunately have to wrap this up now.
I don't think I even helped out
didn't even
much.
give his opinion.
Yeah.
He said,
I don't think you guys even want to ask the questions that you wanted to ask me tonight. So I'm just saying.
We had a lot of exposition from you, but I don't think that there was. Well, we didn't have any specific agenda. I did get a chance to talk to you about community stuff, and so you brought some of that up. I did not want to focus on Warframe stuff, we didn't, and so because that's the expected from people. From you,
I am happy to focus on things that are anything outside of Warframe. Exactly,
because there's a broader range of things that you cover as well. But yeah, Game of Thrones, I understand. It sounds like you got to go. So
not that I got to go. It's getting really late.
It is. Sure. Yeah. You're wrapping it up.
He's not a night owl. That's what it is.
Yeah, I have unlimited.
Well, hey, when you want to scrap what I just said and keep going another hour, I will gladly do it. I'm thinking of you guys.
Oh, just because I'm older than you doesn't mean anything.
No, son of a bitch. I can't be nice.
You gotta play the age card here, huh?
I can't be nice.
Hey,
I can't be nice with you people.
Oh, you people!
Wow!
Wow!
Now we're beyond the age card.
User has left the channel.
All bow to the almighty Gamertron.
You got the right idea. You got the right idea there, Count. There we go. Here's some more of that. Here's some more of that.
Listen, on a short note, I'm happy to come back anytime if you guys want to discuss other stuff. I mean, didn't really
We
talk
have-
about all this other stuff
We're not
that I
going
do.
anywhere. This is gonna be.
There's
we're
only
gonna
so
be-
many hours we got, but no, absolutely. Yeah, we have a cycle of people. We have a list of people, so we can only bring in so many people at once because the voices, too many voices. Too many voices, too many voices. So yeah, but we definitely want to bring you back in, and I will try to let you know ahead of time because I know you got things going on with different work schedules every once in a while. So congrats also on getting a new job there. So I saw that tweet and hope that works out really well for you. If you guys have anything else, that'd be great, but we should probably shut this down. 3 hours, 37 minutes. That's the longest we've run. And honestly, that's long for a podcast anyways.
I did have
exactly.
one. I did have one thing. And
I'm
Dan's
sorry,
like,
Count.
oh
Gonna
my
have to
God.
wait for next week. All right.
All
Thanks.
right, that's fine. That's fine. Fine.
Shut the
do that
hell
way.
up. Tell me. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna buy a game on Steam. I need everyone's opinion. Should
Is
I
it
get
Iron
Rainbow? What? I'm not pre-ordering
Rainbow
Hellblade,
Spickle
you
brownies?
douche.
What?
Anyway,
Iron Snout.
oh, that's free. That's
okay.
gonna be downloaded tonight.
Nice.
Should I get Rainbow Siege?
Oh.
Should I get that redo game you were talking about? First person.
I never even brought that up.
Hard
go ahead.
reset redo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or should I
I
get-
actually,
Hard
on a
reset,
quick
love
note
hard
there,
reset.
I just put my information over to my my PR firm because I can get a code on that game. And I also put my information in for another game that I'm not going to say to get a code on an upcoming RPG game as well while we were talking here tonight because I have access to all this stuff through my PR firm. I even have access
Yeah.
to the Witcher wine thing that you were talking about too.
Blood and Wine.
Yeah, I could get a code on that one if I wanted to.
All right.
Or-
What were
Or
the
should
games
I
again?
get Dark Days? Top-down 3D zombie shooter for $5.
Go with Rainbow Six.
Dark Days?
Rainbow
Well,
Six.
are you getting the full version or are you getting the $15 version?
the
of Rainbow Six?
$15 version?
You're
Yeah,
gonna have to
yeah.
grind your ass off.
Oh, it'll be worth it. It's a good game.
No, I'm trying to be realistic here, man. I mean,
Now-
Count, if you
That's fine.
if you're cool, you heard the news about it, so you know. But it's a damn fine game. I mean, we got probably at least 3 of us that play it already. So
And I'm
I,
gonna
welcome
suck.
to
may,
join.
I
I'm
may,
gonna suck.
I may do it. I won't
Whatever,
suck,
dude.
but I may do it. But the thing is,
y'all
I
have
won't
never
buy it on
seen me
Steam.
play it. Then
I don't buy any of my Uplay stuff on Steam anymore. I just go straight over to
Fair enough.
Uplay.
fair enough. It's
It doesn't make a
$15
difference.
everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't
Does
make a
it?
difference.
Does Rainbow Six have controller support?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Because Titanfall never did.
Controllers, whatever. You guys are noobs.
It's got controller.
Yeah.
I play.
I think
play
Graham
shooters
plays with the controller, too.
Dan.
If you
I
can't
just
play
do.
with a keyboard and mouse, you ain't pro, bro. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I'm
Oh,
definitely not
Dan,
pro.
Super
you're
PC
speaking my
Master
language.
Race.
You're speaking
know
my
I'm not
language,
pro.
Dan.
Gamertron over there. I don't know what a controller is.
I'm
I forgot
casual.
about that.
I play Marvel Hero. I play MMOs with keyboard and mouse, but I don't play.
Dan, do you have a
Shooters.
steering wheel?
It's broken.
You got one. All right, so shut the fuck up. That's a controller.
Oh.
It's been broken for
Oh.
like a year now or 2
Oh,
at this
geez.
point.
See,
So
I would totally get
Vault.
like a steering wheel and like pedal for
you're
racing games.
you're welcome to donate to my cause and help me
Hey man,
get a new one.
hey, I have backed you on Kickstarter. I mean, not on Kickstarter, on fucking Patreon. So don't even.
Yeah, you were the only one.
What
I appreciate
Well,
that, but
I try,
you know,
man. I try. All right.
Oh, it's Marvel Heroes 3-year anniversary. This today.
You got to
Marvel
go.
Heroes 3.
Oh.
There's a
Is
new
that your
event.
cue for like, fuck? I got to get out of here.
If you
Oh,
no. If you don't even play the game, you download the game, you can get a free character. Log in, you get 50 marks. You get 365 marks. You can get a free character of your choice. So anybody that wanted to start playing, you get Deadpool.
And
Just-
if you
just,
use the code Count Chocula, Count gets a kickback on that.
I need to.
Yeah, I
In-game
get Rose
currency.
McGowan to come over and tell
Hey.
me. What
I need to say
Oh.
this here to
Just a
Gamertron.
massage, nice.
Alpha is telling me to tell you to shut up and stay up because sleep is for the weak.
Oh, Gamertron don't have a problem staying awake. I don't think that's the issue.
I can't even sleep, dude.
It's
I have
past
its
fucking
bedtime.
insomnia.
What?
Yeah.
What's sleep?
Yeah, well, you
Agreed.
got that young man's insomnia. Don't worry. It'll
Well.
catch up to you.
Well, in the form of nightmares. Barely get any sleep nowadays.
Welcome to the club, man.
Now you give him
Alright.
nightmares. You hear that? He just said that. You give
Yeah,
him
it's
nightmares.
okay. I'm used to it. I've heard worse from girlfriends.
No, that's not what I said, you sons of bitches.
Stop calling. I'm gonna get my mom over here and tell her, like, look, this guy's calling you a
Okay,
bitch.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't know
you
my mom.
bastard. Does that sound better? Does that?
That's
is that
fine.
less
I'll deal with
offensive?
that. That's cool. Yeah.
Just call me a hobo.
Call me. Oh, well. All right. Well, unless you guys have anything else, you guys got anything else? Gamertron, you said you had a few more games. If you want to, if not, we can catch up next time.
Oh, jeez. A few more games. No, we
Did
better
anybody
end
ever
this.
say count what you were gonna get? I think Rainbow Six. If you
Yeah,
want to
Rainbow
play with
Six.
us,
Let's
I'm
go
leaning
Rainbow
towards
Six.
Rainbow Six there.
Yeah.
you got a
Dude.
community here that'll play with you. So you know.
You just go with Rainbow Six. That way, when I get it, I can just smash down on you guys.
But that
Oh.
what was it?
Oh
Har-
boy,
what was
I'll,
that?
I'll go. I'll
it's
go one
redo.
verse. I'll go one
It's,
verse all of you.
redo.
It's Dark Days. Okay.
What was it? Hard reset redo. By the way,
Yeah.
that's like what $17 on
Yeah.
Steam. I think I'm gonna get it. It's another FPS right now.
Yeah.
I've never played it. It looks pretty good.
Looks
Wait,
cool.
what game? What game we talking about? Dark.
Hard
Dark?
reset redo.
Dark
Hard
Days looks
Reset.
cool.
Oh, I recommend Hard Reset. It's an old
Yeah.
school first-person
No,
shooter. It's
it's
made
Hard
by the guys who made
Reset
Shadow.
Redo.
I knew he was gonna have something positive to say about it. I knew.
Well, yeah, because I played the game and I like it.
It looks
and
good. I'm a
It
graphics
is
4 and
good.
it looks good. It looks good.
I
is
can
what I'm
recommend.
saying.
It is a good game. It is.
I don't care if it is a good game. It looks good. I like the look of video games. I am shallow like that.
Or-
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow. Yeah. Well, while we were talking about all this, I was over on my PR's page and I was like accessing and putting in information for all these different game codes.
Boop.
Shh,
Cool.
Best of luck with that.
Well,
All right,
usually
man.
I get them because they just love me. Just saying.
Nice. Good. Someone's got to love you. All right.
No, I don't
Oh,
generally.
Jesus, man.
I don't generally request codes unless it's a game that I know that I'm willing to invest some time in and play
Yeah.
that would be related to something that I enjoy. Though I did fall out of Black Desert pretty quickly because it just.
Oh, I did too. I didn't like the game. I got it and I didn't like it. I like Riders Icarus much better.
I can't believe that I
Mhm.
fell out of it once it went live. I mean, I liked it in the betas, and then it goes live, and we played it for like a week, and then I was done with it.
A lot of
That actually
people
happens
did
to a
that.
lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Oh.
It was hard to explain why I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know what happened. It was just
I-
like, yeah, it was great.
I
and then
couldn't put my
suddenly,
finger on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still can't tell you exactly what it was. It
Yeah.
was just like one day I'm like, you know what? Oh, never mind. Done. Uninstall.
Something about that game, I just could not get into it. I don't know.
Anyway,
Riders
Alright.
of Icarus seems better. I don't know.
All right.
well,
we're
I
trailing
appreciate
off here.
everybody, let me on. And next time
Yeah,
you want me
thanks,
back
man.
on again, I'll have different games to talk about, like, Planet Coaster. Stay tuned. Big Coaster ride
Awesome,
coming.
man.
Yay.
Sounds good. Yeah, Dogman Dan. People can find you on YouTube. Dogman Dan 75. Is that correct?
That's the official, yeah.
Dogman Dan 75 for all everyone else that's listening on iTunes or downloaded on the app for Android. Oh my God! Good
Oh.
podcast. Thanks, guys, for showing up. I heard in chat that we got a little preachy. I was like, guess what? We bring variety, man. We can't be one thing every time. We're
Reach
different
on.
all the time. That's what it is. So shut up, bitch.
You are salty. You are salty. He doesn't mean that.
What do you
Whoever
want?
said that.
I totally
he
mean
does
it, and
not-
they know
He
it.
does not mean it. He does not
Absolutely.
mean.
Also,
it's
I
late
timed
at
them
night.
out.
He hasn't.
I
He hasn't had his
timed them
sleeping
out.
pills. He hasn't had
Sleeping
his
pills. I don't need sleeping pills. I just don't sleep. It's easy.
Wow. It's not that late
Yeah.
for him. He's still got, another hour here. right?
Yeah, it's 10:54. It's only a Saturday.
midnight for me, and my night's
Yeah,
just
it's
starting.
midnight for me as well.
Midnight for me as well.
And I worked
Yeah.
all day too, and my night's just starting. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I didn't work. I had shitty sleep and then stupid kids murdering themselves in the pool. Ugh.
All right then.
Wow,
Thank you so much for coming
okay.
to B3
Count was here. He
GameCast.
heard me
We'll
being
see you
salty
all
about
that.
next
I heard
week,
about it.
where there will be no murdering
We
kids
will
murdering
see
each
you
other. You
all
don't need to
next
know
week.
anything about
Check
that.
us out
Thanks.
on iTunes. Remember.
Thanks again. Yes, check us out on iTunes. That's right, Count.
Going well.
That's awesome. Thanks again to Dogman Dan, our guest podcaster.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Love you
We're
all.
out of here.
Good night.
You don't love anyone. Shut up.
I love them. I love everybody. I love everybody.
I cut it right there.
All right.
Okay. One sec, guys. It is late. I need to say goodnight to the
worries.
family.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be right
getting
back.
dirty looks from my wife, and I don't understand
You
why.
do